All right. Here we go. MJ Morning Show.
Well, you had an exciting day yesterday.
Yes, I did. Did you see the video?
Which one?
The exciting day video,
Yeah,
obviously.
no, there are a couple. There are a couple.
I saw a horrific video.
Two videos.
Yeah, there were a couple of videos, yes. I had, about 11:30 yesterday morning, we had an incident at the house where I knew it could have turned pretty dangerous and pretty ugly pretty quickly, and we sprung into action. And I think ultimately Gatsby, our male Jack Russell Terrier, is alive because we sprung into action.
Thank God.
Yeah, tell me about it. So about 11:30 or so, I'm inside, and Michelle is inside, and we're each doing. I'm doing prep already. I'm trying to think about some kind of snack for lunch, and I hear this horrific barking outside. It's just nonstop barking, and I know that when I hear the dogs barking in the fashion that they're barking, something's up. They're sometimes they've got a squirrel that they're chasing up a tree, but this is different. It wasn't like the typical barking. It was like nonstop. So I run outside, and they have a bufo toad cornered up against the house. Big, giant bufo toad. I mean, we're talking like
It's huge.
Yeah, it's like larger than my hand. A giant bufo toad. It's like a cane toad or whatever the hell they call these things. They're invasive species. They're not indigenous. They were brought here. Was it to get rid of pests in the sugarcane fields? Or I'm trying to. Don't hold me to that. I don't know if that's accurate, but it's an invasive. It's not an indigenous species, and bufo toads are freaking poisonous. They secrete poison, and they will kill animals. They kill dogs. They kill cats. So the dogs are two Jack Russells, male and female. They have this bufo toad kind of cornered up against the house, and we got a bunch of those birds of paradise. With those things are crazy, man. They grow into these monstrous, like, jungle type things. And I guess these toads, they like those areas near the stumps. Just a pain in the ass. I'm gonna rip those damn birds of paradise out, which have grown like a weed. I'm just gonna take a chainsaw and go. Wham! So the dogs are just going insane. I run outside, and as I'm approaching Gatsby, he then lunges again toward the frog or the toad, grabs the bufo toad in his mouth.
And that's where they produce the poison.
It is.
On the back.
Yeah, they had already, when I looked at Gatsby, he already had like foaminess coming out of his mouth. So I'm like, all right, he already had the bufo toad in his mouth at least one at a time. So he grabs the toad, and as I'm approaching, he runs with the toad. And I'm like, what? So I run after him. He drops the toad, and then I can see that he's kind of foaming and frothing. And then at this point, Michelle comes out, and we're like, bufo toad. So we quickly grab Gatsby, and we run him to near our back door, near our back lanai, where we have a coiled up garden hose, turn the water on, and then immediately take the hose and start flushing his mouth out. So I'm trying to hold him down. Michelle's also trying to hold Gatsby while I'm trying to take a garden hose at full blast and run it like horizontally across his snout, because you don't want to position it so the water goes down his throat. You want to like aim his snout down, open his mouth, and just spray water for like 10, 15 minutes in there just to run the poison that might have entered his mouth out. So you want the water to drip down, not potentially down his throat, to put the poison, into his stomach. So this was a hell of a process here. This is a hell of a procedure. So, that would constitute a pretty exciting day yesterday. And, I posted 2 videos one I deleted. The one last night was just a quick Instagram live, and that's not there. But I guess you saw that one. And then the one of the immediate aftermath of when we flushed his mouth out with water. That video is posted at MJ. It's posted on my Instagram. And hey, if you don't mind, Andrew, we probably should post that at mjmorningshow.com. Yeah, so grab my Instagram and put that link. For those that don't use Instagram and want to see the video, go ahead and post that up at mjmorningshow.com. But if you're on Instagram, you can obviously follow my Instagram. I encourage you to give me a follow. I'm at Todd Schnitt, or Certified Todd Schnitt. So on Instagram, I'm Certified Todd Schnitt. Here's my real name. So the word certified and then TODDSCHNITT. Certified Todd Schnitt. The video is up there. And man, we were like frantic. Man, there was a crazy situation because you don't know how much poison your animal has ingested. And you see the froth, you see the foam, it's the salivary reaction. And, you know, you're wondering, oh, my God, is the dog about to go into, like, cardiac arrest? Is the dog about to be taken over by the poison? Are they about to shut down? So, pretty damn scary. But I'm pretty sure that the fact that we got there fairly quickly and then flushed Gatsby's mouth out with water for that length of time, I'm pretty sure that was what saved him. And there are a couple other things, which I'll get to later on. So I have a couple of other observations, but careful, folks, here in the Tampa Bay area, man, these bufo toads, they are out there. They are there. They are in numbers, and they suck.
They're disgusting.
Yeah. Kill that thing?
Yeah.
You're supposed to dispose.
Oh, yeah. You're supposed to. The bufo toads, you got to kill them. Yeah, I don't want to kill the cute little toad. No, you kill them.
Tie a rock to it, throw it in the bag.
You kill the bitches. You dispose of them. Absolutely.
It's like a snake fish.
Yeah, and then you go online, it's like 29,000 different ways. Everyone's got a suggestion on how you get rid of a bufo toad. Yeah, so inject it with lidocaine. Yeah, I've got a syringe with lidocaine. Yeah, I've got a syringe with ketamine like Dexter lying around. Hang on, we're just getting rolling here. So more details to the story. We'll filter those in during the course of the program. Pretty busy day today. Back in a minute on the MJ Morning Show here on Q105. Oh, before we... Q105 619. Hey guys, am I the only one? Has Roxanne tried to push this what?
Oh,
What is that?
Can I ask what the hell's going on?
so I am so large.
I don't need a so. It just every day, turn your ringer off.
Are you gonna let me answer the damn question, or are you just gonna cut me off and let me tell you what happened?
Your phone rings on the air every single
Jesus Christ!
day.
Are you gonna let me answer the question, or are you just gonna keep cutting me off?
Go ahead.
Well, in my wallet, I carry a tile, right? And I am so large that sometimes when I sit on my wallet, it activates my tile,
Oh, jeez.
and then the phone gives off its tracking or its beacon call, and that's just what happened.
Wow, that was nice and pleasant sounding.
So there was a story.
Your wallet has a tracking tile,
Yeah,
and the tile has a button.
yeah, because the tile
Oh, it
Can-
does. I
can-
guess it does have a button.
can find your phone,
I'm
and
sorry,
your phone
I-
can find your wallet.
I've never had the whole tile thing going on. You know what? I had an item yesterday. What is that now?
I'm trying to shut the
My
tile off.
God!
Is
I mean,
it,
all
is it
kinds of
because
like
you
an-
lost your wallet last week?
Here, see,
dude. If
I activated the tile, and now it's locating my phone for me.
oh my God!
I've never
right.
heard so many obnoxious noises out of one phone.
Well,
Damn
until
well.
you need to find it, and you're like, oh my God, where's my phone? And you're like, wait, here's my wallet. Press the tile, and then lo and behold, it's ringing.
If it's not bodily noises coming out of Fester, it's a whole barrage of electronic noises.
Bodily noises is a totally different issue today.
My God! Yeah, I got the fart tile going on
Not
over
quite,
here.
but close.
Oh, he brought in the.
So I don't know.
no.
I don't want to talk about it just yet.
Oh,
We can,
no.
but I have a product review coming up a little later.
Yeah, Fester just held up the Mattel Minions, fart gun? What is it called?
The fart and fire.
The Rise of Gru Minions Fart and Fire toy, which we were talking about yesterday. Hey, do we still have the little commercial? Is that still up on the board over here, Andrew? Yeah, put that back up. We're going to need that later on. Oh, my God. So more noises will be coming out of Fester later on. I had an item, and I just didn't get to it. we do so much prep for the show. We only get to really a fraction of what we do. But there was an item yesterday, and I think it's still in my didn't get to pile. But there was a story. Let me see if I can find it quickly. There was like a lady in Disney where somebody put a tile and tracked her through the whole park. Does that make sense?
I know we had a story a couple of months ago about like an AirPod or something, and they got back to their hotel room and it alerted them on their phone.
No, there was someone that was in the parking lot.
Okay.
At Disney. Now, I'm trying to quickly go through my leftover pile from yesterday, but I'm telling you, when you just made all that noise and your damn tile is ringing or your phone is ringing, I'm like, wait a second. There was a story that we had about a woman tracked at Disney, another one. This was like the second one. So I don't know if I can. I'm trying to find it quickly here, and maybe I.
All right.
I'm like the bottom of the stack here. Hey, do me a favor. Hey, Rox, type in woman Disney tile. But this is an issue. We have had multiple stories now over the last, I don't know, a couple of years almost, where these tiles are being placed unbeknownst to an individual that is being followed or tracked. Oh. Now, the use for a tile, the use for these little tracking tiles, and what, Apple has them, and
what are they called? There's a different name to them because Tile isn't helping me find it, and I saw this story.
Yeah,
I mean, Tile is a name brand of the brand that I have. AirTag.
AirTag. Yeah. I've heard that one as well.
That's the Apple version.
But we've had multiple stories that we've seen. I know that I've seen now 2 Disney stories. One that we mentioned maybe, I don't know, 6 months ago.
Yes.
And lady was apparently tracked through the park, and they discovered the tile when they were leaving in the parking lot, probably in the Minnie Mouse or Goofy section, wherever the hell that occurred. But then there was another. Did you find the one from yesterday?
I did. It happened at Disneyland.
That was Disney. The one that we had prior was Disney World in Kissimmee or Lake Buena Vista. And give me the details on the one out in California.
This woman's name is Hannah Rose, and she said that an Apple AirTag was put on her to track her location Saturday night at Disneyland, and she's sharing what happened so it doesn't happen to you. And she'd never even heard of it. And so
she never heard of what? She never heard of the tracking devices?
Yes. She said that, according to her post, she realized that someone was tracking her after the AirTag got connected to her smartphone via Bluetooth. She received a notification when the tags got linked up on her smartphone.
Right.
And that's how she realized she was being tracked. And so as of now, it's not known where the AirTag was placed by the stalker. It was probably put in like a bag or a pocket or something.
Did she find it?
Well, yeah. Yes. So she had to know where it was placed. So
she didn't say where it was
hold on.
placed.
Read that last part again. Read the last sentence again.
As of now,
right.
It's not known where the AirTag was placed by the stalker.
Okay, all right. So clearly she found the AirTag, so she knew where it was placed because she must have found it. I think what that is trying to say is that she doesn't know when an individual put the AirTag or tracking device on her.
Right.
I don't think she knows.
I think so.
I don't think it's written very well, but I think that's what they're trying to say, that she has no idea when the tracking device was actually put on her person or whatever she was carrying, a bag, a tote, a purse, whatever. So I'm telling you, scary crap. And we've heard about guys like stalking women. We've had crazy stories. People putting the AirTags on people's cars.
Thieves putting AirTags on cars to follow them home.
You just jarred another story.
That's found a story from a couple of months ago from PC World and talking about how these are used in illicit or illegal fashion.
Yeah, that's right. We talked about that one as well. And that was where car thieves, if they had an exotic car, or if there was a car that they wanted to steal, it's not only exotic cars because a lot of times, isn't like the Honda Accord and the Toyota Camry among the most stolen cars? So it's not like all Lamborghinis. But I remember, seriously, that we had a story again months ago that you got to be careful. Thieves would place an AirTag on a car. Let's say they're in a parking lot at a shopping mall and they spot, a car they want to steal. They'll put an AirTag on the car and then follow that car and boost it like in the middle of the night when it's parked in a driveway or on the street somewhere. So, geez, just sitting here talking about this with your damn ass setting off your tile or whatever the hell that thing is.
Yeah.
The PSA.
We've now remembered how many stories? Like, it's like
half a dozen of them.
Rampant.
it's like 4 different stories of these either the tiles or the air tags being used for nefarious purposes. Well, there you go. I'm telling you, the MJ Morning Show, you never know. From Fester's fat butt sitting on a tile and activating it and making his phone ring in the middle of the show to this remarkable public service awareness segment here on the MJ Morning Show.
Nicely done. Thanks, Fester.
The more you know.
Dum, dum, dum,
Yeah.
dum.
A little cartoon.
The more you eat.
The more you eat. The more you eat, the more likely you are to set the tile off in your butt.
There you go. The more you eat. It's a new Fester feature here on the MJ Morning Show. We're just getting rolling, obviously, here on a Thursday.
Yeah, you were asking if I'm pushing something on people.
Yeah, no, you are pushing stuff on people. You're pushing your
You.
little sprinkly what?
Yeah, I've been pushing it on you. I was going to send you more videos last night. And I'm
Oh
like, no,
my
I'm too pushy.
God! Yesterday, now I see your bottle over there again. Roxanne has this sprinkly food item, and I don't know what the hell this is.
Sprinkly?
Yeah,
Oh, I know what that is.
well, she sent
Sprinkles?
Roxanne sent me a video from inside her car. It was just this rambling video. Listen, we gotta talk about whatever this fairy dust is that Roxanne, I guess, is.
It's so good.
She claims she's sprinkling this on everything. All right, so we got to get into that. First, though, I have a giant pile of idiots. I got a morons in the news pile that we'll get to next. If you like hearing about these idiots, well, you come to the right place because the morons in the news next. MJ Morning Show here on Q105. Hey. 6:05, 6:35, and the pile of morons in the news. Somewhat of an unconventional pile of morons in the news. Oh, Fester, try the new microphone quickly. Let me see if it works. Mic number 4. They finally put in a fourth mic for us, so when we have a guest in the studio,
Wow.
like Fester and Froggy don't have to walk away from their microphone and essentially leave the show when we have a guest in the studio.
All right, so this is the new microphone.
Oh.
Yeah, that doesn't sound very good.
What are you
little
talking
dull, Little
No,
dull.
Yeah.
it's dull.
dull.
Yeah. So that it just needs to be tweaked.
Could it possibly be
Your person.
the person talking into it? Yeah.
No, well, hang on. Let me turn on mic 3, which is your mic, Fester.
Okay.
And now go back and forth between mic 3.
I got to shut off mic 4.
All right, well, all right, mic 3.
All right, so mic 3's over here.
Now
It
go to mic
sounds-
4. Now go to 4.
Hey, so I'm on mic 4 now. It just sounds a little different.
Now
Right?
go to
so,
3.
So anyway, MJ, I was walking down the street the other day.
Back to 4.
And it was really, really warm outside.
It just sounds
It
muted.
just sounds like you put a box over your head.
No,
Yeah.
it's not muted. It's not bright. It just needs a little EQ.
It's not crisp.
I'm not bright.
It just needs a little equalization, and that's just a little tweak. I got to climb under the cabinetry here and start turning knobs. Is what I have to do. Hey, that's good news though. No, seriously, we just after nearly 2 years of asking. I want to thank the engineers for putting in the fourth mic.
If you don't thank them, they'll never.
Oh, no.
I'm on the bad mic now, aren't I? I'm on mic. What number?
No, you're on your regular mic.
No, I'm on the new one.
No, you're not on the new one.
Oh,
dude,
the new one's shut off. I'm just talking into it off mic.
The new one, the new one is shut off.
Oh, okay.
No, but what had happened if we had Shorty Shane in the studio or a guest in the studio? Froggy or Fester had to walk away from their microphone to let the guest use it. So
Yeah.
now we can have Froggy and Fester still with a microphone to be part of the show, and we can still have a guest in the studio, and Roxanne's off in the corner with her own mic, so that was not an issue.
You know what that is, Froggy?
What's that?
A victory for comedy.
Nice.
Me and him sticking around.
Look at that. Absolutely incredible. All right, sort of an unconventional morons in the news pile that we'll get to. All right, first item, which I don't know if this is typical morons in the news item, but because it's kind of morbid. Did you see the funeral home owner in Colorado who is selling corpse body parts for cash?
What? Oh.
Ew.
That was pretty gross. There's
To whom is who's the customer?
a former Colorado funeral home owner has pleaded guilty to secretly dissecting corpses and selling body parts.
To vampires.
Wasn't this like a 80s horror movie?
Yeah.
Phantasm?
Was that it? I never saw that.
It could be. It
Yeah,
sounds
it
like an
was
80s
Really?
horror movie
Oh my
plot.
gosh.
There was no consent received from relatives who are clearly mourning the loss of their loved ones.
Who would consent to that?
Yeah, he could cut off his arms. It's fine.
Yeah, I want to sell this eyelid on eBay. I mean,
Dude,
if
eyelids are big.
If it's an open casket, you'd recognize the eyelid. But would you recognize a pancreas being taken out of
well,
grandma?
that's the story. Let's dive a little deeper here. Megan Hess, who operated the Sunset Mesa Funeral Home in Montrose, Colorado.
Of course, it's called Sunset.
Hey, I've been through Montrose.
Yeah.
Montrose? What do you mean? Yeah,
Well,
you said that as if you've been through Montrose.
Is Montrose on the way to Leadville?
No,
Oh, never mind.
no, you have not been through there. Montrose is sort of on the way to. Is it Ojai? Where's geez, what's the?
oh, hi.
No, I'm trying to think. Tom Cruise, where did he have his? I'm drawing a blank.
Tom Cruise at Clearwater.
No,
Is-
no.
No.
We're talking Colorado, not Clearwater. No, what's the? What's
You're the one who's always there.
Up here? OPHIR?
No. What's the famous ski area out there? I'm drawing.
Vale, Aspen.
No, it's not Vale or Aspen. It's
Um,
man, I'm drawing a blank.
a famous ski area in
Breckenridge?
Colorado.
What? No, not Breckenridge. No, it's not Crested Butte.
Snowmass.
No, not Snowmass. It's oh man, it's driving me nuts.
It's near Uncompahgre National
No,
Forest.
no.
Beaver Creek.
No,
All right.
it's not Beaver. That's the Vale area. It's not Beaver Creek.
Nobody cares where it is.
I know, no, but I'm just trying
But
to.
I do now. Wait.
I'm telling you. Just type in Tom Cruise Winter Ski Home, Colorado.
Telluride?
Yes. Thank you.
Like the car?
You know, guys, do I need to take those fake memory pills that they advertise on TV? I mean, no, I couldn't think of it. It Telluride. That for whatever reason, I had it was like stuck in my head that it began with a C. No, it was a T. It's Telluride. Yeah, Montrose is. You know, sometimes you land in Montrose if you want to get to Telluride, and if I'm not mistaken, I think that in Montrose, Colorado, Fester, you'll love this. I think there's a giant Russell Stover chocolate factory out there.
You know what? I'm a big fan of Russell Stover. That's a good chocolate.
Classic.
I mean, it's not the best chocolate in the world, but it's always a good chocolate.
Serviceable.
No, Whitman's.
Hey, do me a favor. Do a Google search. Type in Russell Stover, Montrose, Colorado, and tell me if I'm right. I'm pretty sure I drove by a massive Russell Stover chocolate factory when I was out.
Oh, yeah. Russell Stover chocolates on Townsend Street, or Townsend Avenue in Montrose, Colorado.
Dude, it says permanently closed.
Oh, no.
Look at that.
This is awful. Well, I will not be going to Colorado this year.
Maybe the store is permanently closed, but I thought there was a big factory out there where they actually made the crap. Anyway, so Megan Hess, she ran this funeral home, and her little side business, she's selling body parts out of her funeral home.
What do you need? I got hands, I got fingers.
I mean, I really
got
need,
shoulders.
Froggy, we need more information on this. I mean, what is she selling?
Maybe to like necro people?
Well, she had the
Yeah.
funeral home, and then she had something called donor services, and they operated in the same building, but apparently she pulled the wool over and wambookied and defrauded at least a dozen families. They paid to have their loved ones cremated, and she was taking body parts off. So instead of cremating the bodies, she would. This is all right, folks. This is crazy.
I mean, eventually the bodies got cremated.
Guys, I'm sorry. I hope you're not eating, breakfast right now. But instead of cremating the bodies, and you know what she was thinking? Listen, they're not going to know. They're going to get a bag of ashes. So this is crazy. She was selling heads, spines, arms, and legs, and then selling them. So
I got spines. I got fresh spines.
So wait, who said a moment ago you couldn't get away with this in an open casket? Who said that?
Well, Froggy talked about eyelids. You know, but of course you can't get away with that. Who's in the market for a spine?
Yeah.
I mean,
Unless you're doing some sort of like Halloween motif, or you want to have, like a chiropractor has that spine in his office that he shows you, unless you want something like that in your home.
That's not a real spine. Those are like fake. Those are medical models. Those are like plastic models. It's not a real.
My spines are 100% real. They came right out of a body.
you go to like that Spirit Halloween store and everything looks so cheesy and not that real. You get this lady's spine.
How about an arm? I got all sizes of arms. I got jumbo size arms. I got medium size arms.
What kind of heads do you have in stock?
All kinds of heads. What kind of hair do you like? I got dark hair. I got light hair. I got big noses. I got small noses.
That's exactly
Brown eye, blue eye. What do you want?
That's exactly how she sounded.
I'll
as well.
take their eyeballs out.
She sold heads, spines, arms, and legs.
It's her side hustle.
Who's buying this stuff?
Wouldn't heads be really traceable? Like, hey, wait a second. Isn't that...
This guy's name was Tom. He was a great guy. Here's his head. Do you want it?
That looks like
Honey, does that look like Uncle Tom?
looks like
$5,000 for this head right here, Tom's head.
looks like my neighbor Jerry.
Yeah, I got Jerry. Jerry, I got Jerry right here. Look, here's Jerry.
Jerry's dead. You
This
can't
is
call him.
this is a terrible story.
You're right.
Anyway, this lady's in trouble, and prosecutors are trying to get her sentenced to 12 to 15 years in prison. Yeah, she was arrested back in 2020. She's been out on bond ever since. And her defense attorneys are saying, listen, they were dead. Come on. You know, what? No, they didn't say that.
That's the defense.
No, that's not the defense.
God.
I just made that up. But this is crazy. A funeral home and donor services. But if you're in the donor business, you have to have consent from, I guess, the deceased or the family to donate parts.
All right, so
But I still want to know, where are you donating an arm or a leg or a head? Is this like for medical?
Yeah, what kind of creep
use?
wants these?
No. I don't think like a regular person.
I do.
A regular individual just can't say, you know what? We're missing part of the decor in the house. is missing something. You know what? If we could just put a leg up on the wall over there, that'd be great.
Imagine she's calling for, like, hey, Mrs. Smith, listen, there's somebody interested in your dead husband's head.
I mean, how do you approach your family about that?
She's
Is
a
it okay
broker.
if I sell it to him?
Well, does
Sure.
15 years sound a little light for this crime? I mean, you sold loved ones' body parts for profit.
That's...
Well, here's the deal. Now, a regular person, Roxanne, cannot like call up and say, "Yeah, I like to buy an arm, a leg. If you got a head and a spine, yeah, could you give me a good package deal?" No. Regular. These are obviously for research and education purposes.
You say obviously, but obviously she's doing something shady by taking them and removing them. So why wouldn't she be dealing with shady people selling it to them?
I'm guessing that she actually was selling the body parts to universities, colleges,
Giving her a lot of credit.
medical schools, or whatever. It
Yes.
was for research and educational purposes, not just some wacko that wanted body parts for whatever.
Yes, the autopsy program at Montrose Community College is second to none.
I wonder how far away she was from the Russell Stover chocolate factory.
Oh.
I imagine right down the road. Can't be. It's not that big of a town.
Right next door. Yeah, I've driven through Montrose. I don't recall there being anything significant except for the Russell Stover chocolate factory.
Apparently, you missed the funeral home.
I drove right by that sucker. Meanwhile, she's got a whole shelf with heads on it in there, that were for sale. I told you, the morbid story. I told you, it's kind of a weird morons in the news this morning. Let's get back to normal here. This is clearly a phenomenal mother. This could be Mother of the Year. Out in Arcadia, lovely Arcadia, Florida, a 44-year-old woman, she brought an infant along with a stash of drugs, such as cocaine and heroin, to a recent prison visit. Isn't this fantastic? Yeah. Actually, this would be Grandmother of the Year. It was the grandmother of the infant. So guards were searching visitors, as guards will do on prison visits, at the DeSoto Correctional Institution, and they found nearly 3.5 ounces of drugs on this woman during the jail check-in process. What kind of a bonehead, what kind of a moron do you have to be to make a prison visit and you've got 3.5 ounces of coke and heroin on you?
Well, she's obviously trying to bring it to someone in the prison, right?
Oh,
Well, that would certainly be a possibility unless...
Grams.
we have Roxanne Wilder, PI over here. she's obviously
Solving all
trying-
the crimes today. You're
well,
welcome.
listen, that is certainly a possibility that she was trying to bring the drugs to somebody on the inside. But listen, it could have been her personal supply as well.
It seems like a lot of drugs, 3 ounces of cocaine.
The DeSoto County Sheriff's deputies, they arrested this woman. Then a canine named Liberty conducted a free air sniff. That's what they call it.
Yeah.
So the dog did a free air sniff of her car. So what that means, and I'm not a lawyer here, but I'm guessing that they did not get a warrant to like go into the car. And I know that there are probable cause issues, but I think they just walked the dog near the car, and the dog went, did a free air sniff.
We got a mark.
Yeah. And then apparently an additional 24 ounces of coke and heroin were inside.
What?
the-
Jeez Louise, she's a real deal drug dealer.
Another 24 ounces. That's, what, a pound and 3/4 or so?
That's the size of the big gulp I got yesterday.
That is a lot of drugs. That's a lot of coke and heroin. Another 24 ounces were inside the car, right next to the baby's car seat in the back of the vehicle. Oh, my God.
That's just formulas there.
Yeah, it's. You've heard about the formula shortage?
I have it all.
Yeah. This is the new heroin-flavored formula we got going on here. Anyway, the baby, the infant, which was the grandchild of this woman, was then handed over to DCF, so Department of Children and Families got the child, and this woman was charged with trafficking in heroin and cocaine. And then one of the juiced up, jacked up charges here is the introduction of contraband into a correctional facility.
Yes.
I believe that actually enhances the charges. I know that when they arrest somebody and they bring them to the jail, they'll always say, hey, is there anything illegal on you? Tell us now, because if we find anything illegal, the charges are enhanced or amplified. I would imagine the same thing applies not only to a potential inmate or somebody being incarcerated and being brought into the prison, but I got to believe it also applies to a visitor if you're bringing coke and heroin into the prison visit, right?
There's
Yeah.
probably a sign posted somewhere, I would imagine, near the entrance that says, do not bring drugs into this facility.
My God, she also had drug paraphernalia. She was hit with child abuse and neglect charges. You got, 24 ounces of coke and heroin next to the baby's car seat in the vehicle.
So she was booked
Jeez.
into the same jail
Yeah.
she was trying to visit somebody in.
Yes.
Just
Of course.
stay-
Yeah. Well,
Convenience. Just stay. I mean,
what? She's at the jail.
I know, but she's already. How convenient is that for law
Yeah,
enforcement?
well,
Take her to another jail.
it's like a one-stop shop. You know what? It's too convenient here. You know what? We're arresting her. She's already at the jail. This is too easy.
Get her out of here.
Let's drive her 15 minutes away to another jail.
Let's take her to Hardee County, not DeSoto County.
There we go. Early morons of the news on the MJ Morning Show here on Q105. Hey, did you learn anything? The lady with all these lottery wins, have you studied what she's done?
What, she's won like 5 times?
Hold
or
on.
6 times?
Hold on a minute. Fester, folks, is trying like hell to win the lottery. That's Fester's one dream, other than falling into a vat of barbecue sauce, is to win the lottery in any fashion at all.
Oh my God, those really are my 2 dreams.
All right, hold on a minute. Let's go over and see if Fester has learned anything from this woman that keeps winning the lottery. If you haven't heard this story, we got it next here on the MJ Morning Show on Q105. Hey, Fester, speaking of winning the lottery. MJ, Froggy, Fester, Roxanne, Andrew, the producer. You got the MJ Morning Show rolling up on 7:01 now. And Fester has one dream in life. As I said, he'd love to fall into the chocolate river in a real-life Willy Wonka chocolate factory.
Oh, that'd be great.
like the heavy-set German kid.
Augustus.
Augustus.
With the,
Don't get too close to the chocolate river.
what do they call it? Is it the Lederhosen? Is that what it's called?
Yes. Do you know how the gun works, Charlie?
But right, it was Augustus, right?
Yeah, it was Augustus.
The chubby German
What was
kid.
his name? His last name was Gloop or something?
Yeah, I think it was Gus's Gloop.
Gloop.
I think so.
Anyway, so Fester has like a list of things he would love. You know, fall into the chocolate river in Willy Wonka. I think I mentioned fall into a vat of Casey's Masterpiece barbecue sauce.
And I'm a Sweet Baby Ray's
I'm
fan.
so-
if I'm going to buy
oh,
something from a store, it's going to be Sweet Baby Ray's.
Yeah. Hey, did I see? Oh, I don't mean to get sidetracked here, and that never happens to me. I never get sidetracked. I never go off on a tangent in some other direction. But was there an item a couple of weeks ago? You know, I might have been on vacation. I think I was with Julian scuba diving in the Maldives. I think I saw a story where like workers fell into a chocolate vat at the Hershey's factory up in Pennsylvania.
Oh.
I'm serious. It was while we were on vacation in mid-June. We were off for a week or so. Yeah, look this up before we move on. That's going to drive me nuts. I believe that I saw this story. Keep going.
Hold on, I got news.
Well, news. Yeah, look right there. Oh, stop. Right there.
M&M factory? 4 weeks ago? That would make sense.
Yeah, that would
June
make
10th
workers rescued after tumbling into vat of chocolate.
at the M&M factory.
Look, yes.
So it wasn't Hershey.
Oh, it wasn't Hershey's. All right, hold on a minute. Yeah, go. I don't want the Guardian. That's a pain in the ass website. Go to like a local news site. Like go to the Today Show right there.
Yeah, Today Show.
Yeah, give me the Today Show there. All right, 2 people rescued after being trapped in a vat of chocolate at an M&M's factory. It wasn't Hershey's because that would be M&M Mars, right? Employees taken to the hospital as a precautionary measure. Look, it was something. The first line is it was something right out of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. On Thursday, 2 workers at a Mars Wrigley factory located in the Elizabethtown borough of Lancaster County, Pennsylvania, were rescued by local fire department officials. They fell into a vat of chocolate. Neither Mars Wrigley confectionery site, the factory where the incident occurred, no one was available for comment.
Except for green M&M. She was like, hey, Buzz.
Yeah. The incident currently is being downgraded, but originally 2 employees were stuck in a sort of dry chocolate.
Oh, that's no
Oh,
fun. You want to
no.
be into liquid
Yeah.
chocolate, so it's like a chocolate, like hot.
Fondue.
Was that like...
Yeah.
But that could burn you.
was that
Powdered
like
chocolate?
yeah, was that like the powder or the...
Like powdered quick?
I don't know.
Well, that's how chocolate starts. It starts in a powder.
Yeah, well, it's...
God, that stuff will get in your throat and kill
Yeah,
you.
and your nose. Ooh.
Anyway, I
Snorted
told you
all
I
that.
didn't dream this. I thought that I had seen a story that happened while we were on vacation. 2 workers fell into some chocolate vat.
So they have to get rid of that chocolate, right?
No, it's human chocolate.
They can't just like shake it out.
I don't stop, Froggy. Don't even...
Sift it.
Sift it.
Don't even go there.
What?
Anyway, and you know, listen, we've had these stories over the years. Chocolate vat now. Prior, there were stories like people falling into like giant bread mixers.
Oh.
Yeah, there was one like in the last year that didn't end very well. Remember that one?
Yes.
That's crazy stuff. Anyway, how the hell did we get? Oh, because I was listing things that are Fester's dreams. Fester's got a dream list, and
Falling into vats of
Chocolate.
delicious liquid
Yeah.
foods are on high on those lists.
Fantasy number 1.
and of course, on Fester's list of fantasies is winning the lottery.
Yes.
And we've talked about this on multiple occasions. Fester gets visibly upset when there's like a local lottery winner. If there's like a Florida winner or even closer to home, a Tampa Bay area winner, and Like, dude, you were so ticked off when that like 24 or 26-year-old young person, all right, that young man,
A young person.
Well, no, he was like
It's like 22 or 24.
I think he was 24 years old.
I'm
Doesn't even
rightfully
deserve it.
I'm right. No, it's not that he does or doesn't deserve it. I'm right to be pissed about this for multiple reasons.
Fester, this was about a year and a half ago or so. Fester was visibly PO'd because I think it was a 24-year-old guy won $250 million with Powerball at the Publix up in Lutz.
Yeah, his last name
Fester.
was Yee.
Do you have it? Yeah.
Thomas Yee, 23.
23. All right, we were close.
23 and ye.
23 Yee. This dude won
Wow.
$235 million in Powerball, and he bought the ticket at the Publix right there in Lutz. Right,
What a punk.
That's
right-
my store,
That-
right? The Apex.
right behind Avila, right?
Yeah, right where Florida and Nebraska meet.
So that's Fester's Publix, and that's where Fester would buy his Powerball tickets. And then, have you bought a Powerball ticket there ever since?
No, because he ruined the store.
He ruined the store.
He ruined.
He did.
As far as Fester's concerned, they might as well just demolish that Publix, just knock it down, because Fester's reasoning is.
You never see two big winners from the same store.
When's the last time you heard about a $235 million Powerball ticket being sold at this supermarket, right? And then later on, months later, a year later, another humongous multi-$100 million lottery ticket is sold there?
Never.
It just doesn't happen.
If it's a big city like the greater Atlanta area, I can understand two Powerball winners in a decade from that area.
So, Fester, would you like to hear a year and a half later? When did he win? The story was from April of 2021. So, a year and 2 months later here, year and 3 months later. Would you like to deliver a message to Thomas Yee, the 23-year-old who won the $235 million? Would you like to deliver a message now a year later?
Hear ye, hear ye.
What would you like to say to Thomas?
I think to start the message with a hear ye
Yeah.
is only appropriate, Froggy. Thomas knows that he is my mortal enemy. Thomas knows that he has ruined Lutz for all Powerball players.
He stole your dream.
The town.
He stole your dream of buying a winning Powerball ticket at that Lutz Publix because he won $235.4 million a little over a year ago.
Does he know that I now have to go to Carrollwood to buy my Powerball tickets?
Thomas Yee of Lutz, do you know that you've ruined Fester's life?
Well, you certainly have changed my buying habits of Powerball tickets.
All right, well, what are we going to say,
I
Roxanne?
know, when are you going to win? I'm tired of talking about it. Just do it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just win.
I know.
Well, Fester, have you studied the woman in Maryland now that they've won a whole bunch of $100,000 lottery prizes in like 4 or 5 years?
So I saw the woman in Maryland. I saw another guy, I think a week ago, he won multiple lotteries or he won a lottery off of a method he saw on TV or something.
Yeah, what was that one? Could you
So,
look?
yeah.
I had that story as well. We just never got to it. But a guy apparently saw some. Is there like a TV commercial? How to win the lottery? Is that some like late night TV commercial? If you're watching some terrible cable channel and sandwiched in between like the lonely chat lines.
So one of the awesome shows on TLC is
Right.
a show called Lottery Changed My Life.
Yeah.
And apparently that's the show that this South Carolina man was watching that gave him this idea. I have to read a little bit more about this story.
Yeah, bring that up because let me tell you about the Maryland lady first. And Fester, I'm sure that you employ these tactics, but what happens? What is this woman and her husband doing for them to win 3 $100,000 lottery prizes in 5 years? They say it's research. So this woman is a stay-at-home mom. They're in a small town in Maryland. And last week, she won her third six-figure scratch-off prize in 5 years.
That's
How's
not
that
fair.
possible? How's
They
that
should,
possible?
they should let you win twice.
Scratch off, you just put your money in the machine, you get a random ticket.
Well, here's the deal. They have a system. They have a method. Why don't you listen up? So,
All right.
hold on. You don't know about this.
Lay it on me. I told you, I just saw this.
You know what? I'm disappointed. I got to tell you, you're so eager to win a lottery,
Wow.
But
whatever
not
the
willing
hell.
to put the work into it, for
Hold on.
God's sake.
You know when you know people,
This is
okay?
like the guy who figured out the pattern on press your luck. You gotta study it.
Oh, that's right.
He knew he got everyone right.
That's right. Was that the no whammies, no whammies,
Yeah.
no whammies? Stop, right?
It's like, he's stopping on $1 million every time. What's happening?
It's like
He
the guy who
learned
made
like the
the guy who made the perfect bid on Price is Right.
yeah, or that yeah.
All right, here's the deal. This 30-year-old woman, she and her husband, they do some legwork. They figure out which of the scratch-off games in their state have been on sale for a long time, but still have a lot of the big money prizes that are still out there and have not yet been won. And I believe all states do this. I think Florida does it.
Yes, there's a website where you
Right.
can see how many grand prizes are left.
Yeah, they'll let you know in any particular lottery scratch-off game in, I would imagine, all states. This is information they make available to the public. So, for instance, in Florida, what's the big game that people are winning all that money? Gold Rush.
Well, Gold Rush is one.
yeah.
There's a new game called 500 Times. It's a $50 ticket.
Yep, that's right.
Oh, my God.
Yeah,
With a
there's a-
$25 million grand prize.
There's a $50 scratcher now. But seriously, if you go to the Florida Lottery website, for all the scratcher games, they'll tell you what the rundown is on how many prizes in each category and then how many are still available. And that's what this woman and her husband did. They did a little research and they're like, all right, look at this. This is the bozo winning scratcher. Look at all these prizes that are still out there. They haven't been awarded yet. So they focus and they hone in on these games that have been around for a while, and there's still a ton of big prizes that are available. And she claims that's their system. They've won 3 six-figure prizes, $100,000 prizes. They've won 3 of them now inside of 5 years.
Wow.
So
That's a strategy. It works.
yeah, Fester.
It
Just
doesn't seem like it's that outlandish of a strategy.
no, it's not. It's common sense, Fester. Why don't you employ this strategy? And instead of dreaming, maybe you can win your
Yeah.
scratcher
All right,
finally.
So there's a $10,000 holiday winning lottery ticket, right?
Mm-hmm.
13 of 24 grand prizes have been claimed. It's a dollar ticket. Who's buying holiday winnings anymore? It's past the 4th of July. Nobody's
Right.
buying a Christmas scratcher.
Yeah. Well, hey, you've heard of Christmas in July.
Yeah,
There you
right.
go. No, but listen, all of this information is available online in the particular state you're in and the lottery scratchers that you want to play, and that's what they're saying. I think it makes a lot of sense.
Wow.
But still, it would seem like it's still a needle in a haystack, but it's working.
Giving yourself a little leg up.
Yeah.
So there's a movie that's out that I saw. I think I saw the trailer for it or half the trailer for it that I kind of want to see, starring Bryan Cranston, called Jerry and Marge Go Large.
What?
Yeah, there's a movie.
You just made that
I
up.
swear to God, look up.
It's not a movie
I just
name.
pulled it up.
There is.
Jerry and Marge Go,
Go
Large,
Large.
starring Annette Bening
Right.
and Bryan Cranston from Breaking Bad and Malcolm in the Middle.
Right.
And they figure out a system or a loophole in like a random state lottery, and they win like all this money.
All right. Hold on to that thought. I'm sure we'll get to it never. All right. A
Aw.
quick break here. When we get back, hey, something happened to my TV the other night. And this is an event that we know of, but I don't know if this has happened to me in this fashion in the past. Yes, I meant to mention this yesterday, but I didn't. But I want to bring this up. Did something happen to your TV as well on Tuesday night? Yeah, I want to explore this. Hold on. I've perplexed Roxanne. We'll get into your little mystery sprinkly food dust here also in a minute. So hold on. We're back in just a second here on the MJ Morning Show, and we start the long chunk of the MJ Morning Show next. Hey, Team Logic IT. But in a moment, the unbelievable drama at the Schnitt House. Not to be confused with the Brick House.
Yeah.
It was the Schnitt House.
That's a really stressful situation you guys were under yesterday.
You know, my home is built like a brick Schnitt house.
That's no joke.
But
That's
it's not brick, though. It's
a lot of concrete.
It's concrete and stucco, I think. But no, serious drama for your mama at my house yesterday. And I did document the immediate aftermath on my Instagram Live. I did go live. And folks, this is another reason why you ought to follow my Instagram account. And I'm going to explain all of it in just a matter of moments. But you never know what's going to pop up on my Instagram, pictures, videos. I go live on Instagram and talk to you, my cherished MJ Morning Show listeners. So if you don't follow me on Instagram, give me a follow. It's Certified Todd Schnitt, my real name. Certified, and then TODDSCHNITT. First, though, I mentioned TV takeover. And I want to know if this has happened to other folks, and I'm just kind of mystified. I'm not unaware. I know what this is, but I've never had this happen to me in this fashion. When I say had a TV situation, I had a TV takeover at my house, what do you think I'm talking about? With the limited amount of clues that I've given you guys, do you have any idea what the hell I'm talking about?
I would think it had something to do with like Alexa taking over your TV, but I know you don't allow Alexa in your home.
No, Alexa is the devil. Alexa is evil.
Yeah.
Sent by Beelzebub himself. No, I don't want any of those devices that can listen to you, and I don't want the Google Home or whatever that thing is. It's bad enough that our cell phones that we carry are probably spying on everything. They're watching me in the bathroom, the shower.
Ew.
Yeah. Our cell phones, man, they're listening to everything. You ever notice that, you know, you're talking about something and then it pops up in your like news feed, or you ever notice that?
Yeah.
We'll talk about things on the morning show, and then like a day later, it'll appear on like my suggested things I want to buy.
Mine too.
Yeah, how
that's
creepy
kinda,
is that?
yeah, very creepy, actually.
I mean, that's as creepy as James Gum running around the basement with the night vision goggles on. That's some creepy stuff. All right, so yeah, Andrew.
You mean like an Amber Alert?
Yes. 100%. All right, Andrew, our producer, while nobody else guessed it.
Andrew's all smart.
Yeah, Andrew's
fair.
Andrew's all smart. That's not fair, says Froggy.
I want to be smart.
I don't.
Now, I meant to mention this yesterday. This was on my list to do yesterday, but we just got all backed up and jammed up. So, hey.
So your TV displays Amber Alerts?
Well, hang on a minute. Now, of course, I'm aware of the EAS, the Emergency Alert System. You know, when you listen to radio stations, you'll hear, this is a test of the emergency. And the EAS system, that replaced the EBS. Remember years ago, we had the Emergency Broadcast System. Then they came out with this new system, and you'll hear those chirping noises, the weep, 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 weep. And the stations do tests, was it once a week, or then there's a monthly? Anyway. When you have a real emergency,
Like an IBS. Go straight to the bathroom.
Yes.
so,
That's good.
so not the EBS,
Not the EBS. It's been replaced.
not the EAS. Now you're saying all that is going to be replaced with the IBS?
This is a test of the irritable bowel syndrome.
Where is Froggy? Can you guess? the John with IBS.
There we go. That's the big alert right there. All right, now this happened on Tuesday night. Again, I had this on the list to talk about yesterday, but I'm watching TV at 9:50 p.m. on Tuesday night. And suddenly my TV is taken over, not for 20 or 30 seconds, but for 5 minutes. I could not do jack. But I wasn't even watching live TV. I was watching a recorded program on my TiVo. I was watching a recorded program on my DVR, and it still commandeered my television set.
Really?
Now, I'm well aware, as a broadcaster, I know about the EAS and the weather alerts, natural disasters, Amber alerts, for instance, kidnapping situations where there's an immediate emergency to locate a kid. I get it. I understand the process. And of course, I've watched TV, and like the weekly or the monthly test will come on, and it'll block out your TV for 20 or 30 seconds. I've experienced those, quite a bit. I'm doing prep for my afternoon show. I'm flipping around from the news and the cable news channels, and suddenly the test comes on, but it's like 30 seconds. On Tuesday night, so it's the night before last, Tuesday night, I'm watching. You know what I love? I love that Highway Through Hell show. The tow truck guys up in Canada.
Yes, that's a good show.
Yeah, man, that is great. I love the tow truck wrecker show from Canada, Highway Through Hell. And I have 50 episodes that are stored on my DVR. So whenever, there's nothing I want to watch, you know what? I'm going to watch a little tow truck action. Some rotator tow truck, $750,000. They bought a $750,000 wrecker. $750,000. Anyway, so I was watching this on Tuesday night because there was nothing else I wanted to watch. And, I'm doing prep for the morning show. I'm like, all right, I'll put on some Highway Through Hell as some background noise. And then at 9:50 p.m., the noises start going off. And it's an Amber Alert from West Palm Beach.
Oh.
It was an Amber Alert from, I think it was Jupiter, that this 15-year-old girl was abducted. Not like a 2-year-old or a 4-year-old. It was a 15-year-old girl that was abducted. I think it was Jupiter, Florida. So Palm Beach County, just north of West Palm. And any of you guys watching TV at 9:50? Andrew, so it happened to you as well?
Yes. And I appreciate the necessity of having these warnings, but in the next 5 minutes, this is not going to be solved while I'm watching in my house.
In Carrollwood.
Yes.
All right. So wait a minute. Do we really need to have the television get taken over for 5 minutes on the complete other side of the state? So
you never know who could have a connection.
Listen, what I'm saying is the abduction or the situation, well, I understand. Listen, I'm very sensitive to the immediacy and the need if authorities really feel that there's an immediate danger. Yeah, but I can understand blasting it out over the TVs on that side of the state or in Palm Beach County or just north in Martin County.
The surrounding counties.
Exactly.
But not 10 counties away.
Well, I mean, a 3-hour drive away, I don't know if my TV at 9:50 at night, if I need to have it taken over for 5 minutes. I've never had that happen for that amount of time. I've had the tests. I've seen the weather alerts. That's happened, but those are pretty short. 5 minutes, 9:50 to 9:55 p.m. But again, I wasn't even watching live TV. I was not watching a network off the air. I wasn't watching a cable channel. I was watching a recorded show that I recorded months ago that was sitting on my DVR, but the system is able to just
take over.
That's the word. It took over while I'm watching a recorded show, and you can't do anything. I'm pushing all the damn buttons, shut this thing off. And, and I feel bad for the 15-year-old, but it's over in Jupiter. I'm sitting in South Tampa.
Is there a way to turn it off?
I don't think so. I'm looking for all the settings on my TiVo. I'm going into like settings and controls, and man, how do I turn this off? You know what? Let me grab a couple of calls here. I would love to hear from people. Did this happen to you as well on Tuesday night at 9:50 p.m.? Did your TV get taken over by this Amber Alert from Palm Beach County, completely on the other side of the state, a 3-hour drive? Did this happen to you? All right, 800-990-1047. 800-990-1047. Now, I tried to see if there were settings that I could shut this off. I don't think there are. If anyone knows how to, I know on your cell phone.
Now, do you have a Sony TV?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I've got, yeah.
'Cause I imagine each brand is a little different on how you shut it off. On your cell phone, and I've gotten stink eye when I've told people this. I've turned Amber Alerts off on my cell phone.
I don't turn that stuff off my cell phone.
I do.
I'm okay with that. And my phone went off as well. So when the TV was taken over, my cell phone also did the urgent tone noise where it's like going to scare the crap out of you. Like, oh my God, did Putin launch the nukes? It starts shrieking. So my phone goes off, and then at the same time, the TV goes blank, and I get the screen goes black, and you got the Amber Alert, and the words are crawling across the top of the screen. But I don't know if you can. I'm fairly technologically advanced. I don't know if you can shut them off. But
they probably don't want you to shut them off.
Well, I get it, and again, I don't want to sound insensitive. I obviously understand the urgency if a 15-year-old girl or another child is abducted. I understand the urgency, but am I being insensitive to say, do we really need this in the Tampa Bay area when it happened over in Jupiter in the West Palm Beach area?
So the update on the Amber Alert is that it's over and she was safe.
Right.
Was this the one that was found in Atlanta? I just got a text from somebody that said that it was a link to a story. Was this the one who was kidnapped in Palm Beach and she was found in Atlanta?
I don't know.
I don't know. I know that it was a 15-year-old girl, and it apparently happened in Jupiter, which is just north of West Palm. All right, look at the phones. Phones are loaded here. All right, so I want to know, was your TV completely taken over and you couldn't do diddly squat for 5 minutes? You couldn't turn the channel, nothing. And is there a way to shut that thing off? All right, I have the alert. I can see the information in the first 30 seconds. Why do I need another 4.5 minutes of having my life taken over by this thing? All right, 800-990-1047. 800-990-1047. That's the number. I don't want to come across as insensitive. I'm not. I understand the importance, the need for these Amber Alerts. I get it. But I got all the information in the first 30 seconds. I don't need it for 5 minutes. All right, let's go to phones on this. How about Brian in Plant City? Hey, Brian, you're on the MJ Morning Show on Q105. Hi.
Hey, MJ, I'm a field technician for Spectrum, and I know exactly what you're talking about. Usually when that happens, you can turn off your cable box, turn it back on, and it goes away, the sound. But mine was taken over for 5 minutes. I couldn't do anything.
Yeah, same deal. It took over my life for 5 minutes. And listen, you're a Spectrum, you're a tech, right?
That's correct.
Oh, hey, what's your first name again? It's Brian?
Brian.
Oh, Brian, you know what? I'm glad you called because, man, I might have a problem, Brian. I am heavily, listen to this, I am a Spectrum customer, and I'm heavily invested. I've got the TiVo Master Unit in my office, and then I've got the TiVo Minis and the Luxes all over the house, and I rely on the cable card and the tuning adapter, and I'm hearing that Spectrum is doing away with those. Is that true?
That's what I've been hearing. Not a lot of field technicians are actually trained on that, so there's quite a few of us that only know about that, and we don't carry them in our truck. We have to get them from a supervisor to bring them out to us.
I'm going to be really ticked off if you guys are not going to support the cable card because I need that to run my TiVo.
Yeah, Brian's really furious about it as well, I can tell.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
All right, so Brian, stop by the house later on. We'll talk about this, okay?
Absolutely. And have a good day.
Thanks for calling.
Brian, just send him an email. You guys can go have lunch or something.
Amanda's in Zephyr Hills. Hey, Amanda, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Did I lose Amanda? Amanda, come on.
She
Oh.
waited just to hang up on us.
Amanda, call back, please. All right, how about, is this Tony? Tony, or is this Amanda?
This is
Oh,
Amanda.
no, I'm sorry. This is Amanda. I picked up the wrong line. Hey, Amanda, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
Hi, how are you guys doing this morning?
We're doing well. Can you get closer to your microphone, please? Yeah, your hands-free is very far away.
All right.
Amanda?
Yes.
Okay, that is much better. Go ahead.
I was watching Netflix, the new Snowflake Mountain show.
Oh,
That's my favorite show. I just got finished watching it. Isn't it great?
Yeah. Fester is obsessed with this thing. All right, so what happened?
We had the alert go off on our phones, but it didn't change the TV. So I'm wondering maybe it's if you guys have smart TVs, maybe since it's more connected to the internet, that's what made it go off. Since we just had like the Roku plug-in, it didn't go off on our TV.
You know what? That's a good point. I wonder if it was my TiVo device that did it, or if it was my Sony smart TV that did it, which is connected to the internets. That is a good point. Amanda, thank you. See, that's why I'm taking phone calls here. All right, Amanda, thank you. Have a great day. Appreciate it. Tony's in Tampa. Just a couple more calls. I'm going to move on here. Tony in Tampa. Hi, you're on the MJ Morning Show.
Hey, how you doing, MJ? I'm not a technician, but when that happens to me, it happened to me two or three times. I unplugged the thing from the back, the MHI cable, or unplug it from the freaking wall. That's it. It's done. Unplug the TV.
These Amber Alerts, I'm going to unplug it from the freaking wall.
Maybe I watch Netflix, man.
Hey, Tony, thanks for the call, and thanks for listening,
Yeah, but
okay?
here's the thing about unplugging it. Then
All
your TV takes 15 minutes to reset. For the cable box to turn back on, everything.
Yeah, you're right. You know what? Let me take two more calls here. But what happened to D-Flex? I want to hear from D-Flex.
Man, what is up with you and D-Flex? Are you obsessed with this guy? I can't even remember who it is.
Yeah, are you stalking him?
No, it's just
he better be damn funny.
I've had so many people say whenever that D-Flex guy calls in, man, I love that guy.
He called in twice.
He's called in more than twice. So
3 times.
Hey, D-Flex, if you're still out there, call us up, would you please? D-Flex.
When did you call before?
D-Flex, let me know that you're alive, man. You got to call the show again. People love you. All right, Pam is in Lakeland. 2 more here. Hi, Pam. You're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
Hey there. Good morning, guys. I look at it like this. I know you say you're trying not to be you're as sensitive as possible, but I look at it like this. If it was my kid, I would want the whole entire world to be alerted.
I know,
you know what
for
I mean?
real.
Not only in Florida, but I would want everybody looking out for my kids.
All right, so wait a minute. Somebody watching in Montana, you want their TV to get taken over for 5 minutes?
Sure.
Yes.
You know what? 5 minutes. You guys, you can't sacrifice 5 minutes for somebody missing a child. I don't know, man.
Listen, no, I know.
I almost agree with
Yeah,
her.
and we've been getting a lot of comments from texters along that
You
same
guys
vein.
are a little off on
Yeah, I
this.
completely disagree with you, Pam. Listen.
I'm trying to tell them that I don't think MJ means it. He means it more in a curiosity way.
No, well,
yeah.
listen.
You're making it sound like missing kids are nothing but a nuisance.
No, that's not. All right, Frog, I'm going to come over there and whack you. No,
I'm not going to solve the crime in my underwear watching TV at 10 o'clock at night.
But a lot of the texters have made the points like, okay, yeah, if you kidnap the kid in West Palm, you could be driving on the run to Pinellas County. Someone may know something.
Yeah, and they could be in my refrigerator eating my leftover nachos.
I'm not trying to be insensitive. I have a great concern for anything that endangers a child. It's just that I got the point. I got the information in the first 30 seconds of the alert.
Right.
And it kept repeating for 5 minutes. That's all I'm saying.
But what if you'd walked out of the room?
I got to tell you, there's 2 kids in the world I have to keep track of, and if they're missing, I know about it before the Amber Alert goes out.
Hey, Pam, thanks for the call. And listen,
Thanks, guys.
your comment is duly noted and registered, and I get it. I understand what you're saying, okay?
Heartless guys.
Thank you.
All right. All right, Frog, are you trying to really put
mean,
combustible
seriously.
material on the fire here?
It's just like let me throw some gas.
Yeah, exactly.
All
right, one more, and I got to move on. And then, man, we had a big mess at my house yesterday. Oh, the drama with the toad. Oh, my God. Hey, Gatsby is one lucky dog. We'll explain in a minute. Hey, Lee is in Tampa. Hi, Lee. You're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
Hey, how you doing?
Doing well, Lee. Go ahead.
I agree with you because I was watching the show with Nick Cannon, the comedy show, and it just went off, and the Amber Alert came on.
Yep.
But it was so long that I missed the best part of the show, which is the last part of the show.
Yep.
And that was it. But I'm like, okay, I got it. Like you say, the first 2 minutes, because I read the whole thing. But I couldn't get rid of it. I had to turn the TV off and reset the box. The next day it wouldn't even work the next day. I had to totally unplug the TV, reset the box.
Right.
But we have one of those new TVs that's curved, so I guess it works off the internet, and it just, no channel we turn to.
Now, Lee, you're making a great point in that you're watching a show. It's the best part of the show, and then suddenly 5 minutes of it's obliterated. And if you were recording, let's say you were recording on a DVR, that gets obliterated as well. The whole recording goes off. Because when I look back, I was recording other things that I wasn't watching, and when I went back and checked the recording, it was a big blank space. It was a black chunk on my TV where it was gone. Anyway, Lee, listen, I understand. And folks, again, let me wrap this up. I care about Amber Alerts. I care about kids getting abducted. I care about that information getting out. But I think taking over my life for 5 minutes, it's a little long.
I know why Fester got mad. It was during your favorite show, wasn't it? Big Brother.
Okay, first of all,
that's right.
No, this happened Tuesday
Yeah,
night.
it was Tuesday night at 9:50. It was not last night. It happened to be Tuesday night.
And Big Brother was on until 9:30.
Oh, you're right. Hour and a half long eps.
All right, 7:45 at the MJ Morning Show. All right, we have a lot to do here. First, I want to get into the drama at my house, and then Fester wants to talk about cheating. Hey, Andrew, do me a favor. Get the little daily promo ready to go when I need it, all right? First, though, Rox, you saw the video on my Instagram, correct?
I did. That's terrifying. I mean, those things are a problem.
When I do an Instagram Live, do you get an alert? Do you know?
If I'm on Instagram, I do. If I'm not on Instagram, I don't.
Because, some people, like my kids, they have an alert set up.
Yeah.
They have a notification. So the minute I go live, they get a little thing that pops up on their phone.
It takes over like an Amber Alert.
Yeah, we spend 4 hours a day together. We're good. I don't need alerts for when you do stuff.
But you saw the video.
Yeah.
We had some serious drama at my house yesterday, and we're lucky that we didn't lose Gatsby, our 4-year-old Jack Russell Terrier, yesterday. Let me get Michelle on the line because she was out there with me with our springing into action and the hose, the water, the whole shebang. I mean, what an event. Calling Michelle.
Were you guys like screaming?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Gatsby bit my finger as well. Look right there. I hope it doesn't get.
God, why did he bite you?
Yeah, well,
because you're jamming a hose down his face.
Exactly. I'll explain in just a second.
The dog is under duress this whole time.
It's like when you save a shark, you have to shove a hose in his mouth.
Yeah. Hey, Michelle, I'm telling the Bufo story, so I want you on the phone, okay?
Okay.
All right. So here's what happened. It's, about 11:30 yesterday morning. I'm already home for, I don't know, an hour after the morning show. I'm already at home. And I was just doing some work, some prep, and I was cooking some lunch, or I was getting ready to prepare lunch, and I heard barking outside that was just prolonged. Now, we've got 2 Jack Russell Terriers. They're both 4 years old. We got a male, we got a female. Gatsby's the male. Scout is the female. And yes, those have literary connections with Scout and Gatsby. Of course, the Great Gatsby, and Scout comes from?
To Kill a Mockingbird.
That is correct, Roxanne. Froggy's scratching his butt over there, has no idea.
It's my crotch.
Yeah, all right. So the dogs are barking, and it was prolonged. Now, they bark at squirrels, but it was just a frantic, prolonged bark. I'm like, something's not right. So I run outside, and I say, hey, Michelle, come with me quickly. They must have something. So Michelle runs outside, and they're on the side of the house where we got a whole bunch of these birds of paradise, which it's turned into a jungle. I need to just light those on fire. So I need to get rid of. So on the side of the house, the dogs are in the birds of paradise, and they're just barking. They're just wailing. And that's when Michelle screams, "He's got a squirrel!"
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
I wish.
And Michelle, why don't you take it from there?
Well, I saw him pick up something in his mouth and start running around, like back behind there where we couldn't even hardly get to him.
Exactly.
And I thought it was brown, and so I just assumed it was a squirrel. I did never even cross my mind that it would have been a bufo toad, and because they were, because the way they were barking at it and like working it, and so then, we were both running into the birds of paradise trying to get, grab him to get it out of his mouth, and then I guess he came running out and dropped it, and it wasn't a squirrel.
It was a humongous bufo toad, a cane toad. And, of course, they're invasive. They're not indigenous. They are poisonous.
Was there lactation and excretion?
Dude, there was excretion.
Ew.
All right, now.
On its back, right?
Gatsby had this massive, this thing was the size of, the Nerf footballs? Not the full-size Nerf, but you have kind of like the smaller Nerf. Well, maybe in the middle. This thing was huge.
Is it like softball size? Yeah.
It was probably one of the biggest ones I've ever seen.
This is larger than my hand. This is a large bufo toad, and Gatsby drops it, and we look at Gatsby, and Gatsby's got foam coming out of his mouth. So clearly he's shaking his head because it
tastes bad.
Well, you've got whatever neurotoxins or whatever's going on here, because these bufo toads, one of their defense mechanisms is they secrete this toxic poison from these glands. And here's what we think happened on why maybe Gatsby wasn't immediately, knocked the hell out. If you look at the frog or the toad, now I show the toad, we captured it, we put it in a bag. Gatsby punctured the toad in the back. So in the back on the side by the rear legs on the right side of the toad, there are like 2 puncture marks and like stuff is coming out.
Oh.
Now, Michelle, when you looked up the bufo toads, it says that the bulk of the poison, it's secreted from a gland near the eyes?
Right, like right behind the eyes. So
It doesn't look like Gatsby actually bit or was holding the toad near where the most secretion or the poison actually comes from. He certainly got enough to affect him because he was foaming and he was shaking his head. So immediately we run with Gatsby to the hose. We've got a coiled green hose in the back. I turn on the hose, and Michelle, how did we know? It was so. I'm trying to remember how everything transpired that we immediately took him to the. We knew we had to flush his mouth
because
out.
I knew I had to flush his mouth out, and you were saying like take him inside to the shower, and I said no, you better do it outside with the hose so you can push his face down instead of up. Because you don't want him swallowing anything. You want to hold the face down and just like squirt that hose right inside there so that whatever toxins are in there are going out.
So for 10, 15 minutes, how long was it, Michelle, that we held?
20 minutes because I thought you should have done it for 30 and I was worried you didn't do it long enough.
Did you waterboard the dog?
Well,
You're drowning the pup.
Well, that's how I got bitten. Because he's
like, enough, all right.
Well, he's like trying to figure out what's going on over here. It's like, dude, hey, Gatsby, calm down. We're trying to save your life here, dude. Calm down.
You know what you should have done is suck the poison out of his tongue.
No, you don't do that. Like a snake bite.
Like if you got a rattlesnake
That's
bite.
not how that works, Roxanne. You don't suck tongues.
Well, he's not a good dog owner then. He doesn't really care about Gatsby if you're not willing to do that.
No,
making out with your dog.
So we grab the hose, turn the hose on full blast, and Michelle's trying to hold Gatsby. I'm trying to hold Gatsby's head. I've got the green garden hose. We're trying to aim his snout down. I'm trying to pry his jaws open. And, of course, his inclination is to clench and stop me from jamming water in his mouth. So in the process of trying to open his jaw, hold it down while running a full blast garden hose of fresh water into his snout, into his mouth to get the bufo toad toxins out, he clamps down on me. So I get a bite right on my finger, right in between, the knuckle area. And then I start bleeding profusely. Gatsby didn't intend to bite me, but he did. So we're just running this water. The whole backyard, the whole pool deck is covered with water now. But, I was able to get the slime off. And the interesting thing with the bufo toad and the interaction with the dog's mouth and saliva, it gets like it's a slimy kind of residue feel with this foam. And I was able to get all of that away, and the residue went away, and he seemed to be okay. So, Michelle, I'm guessing that he might not have gotten the worst of the toxin because he did not bite the head of the toad.
And we acted so quickly.
I think we were able to, clearly we did, because Gatsby's alive and well, and he never really went into any kind of a shock or a trauma. He never, went into a place where, we thought that, we're going to lose him.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we got very, very lucky yesterday.
Oh, we got lucky, all right.
Gatsby got lucky.
Mm-hmm.
A frog not so lucky.
All right,
Frog not so lucky. You left him on the sidewalk, and I went back to go get him, and he was gone.
Oh, yeah. Oh, this is another part of the story here.
You let him out of the bag?
Well, no.
No, he didn't, because we grabbed Gatsby
in the bag.
first, so we were tending to Gatsby, and
Right.
so then when we got him settled, I said, okay, I got to go get the frog so we know for sure, there's a bufo toad in case anything further happens, and he was gone.
All right, so here's the deal. Immediately, he is foaming and frothing. He drops the bufo toad, and it's on the pavers. It's on our walkway. He's punctured. The toad is bleeding. He's got guts coming out of the back. All right, let's hurry. Let's run and take Gatsby to the hose. Let's flush him out. And in the meantime, we go back to get the toad, and the toad is gone. I'm like, oh my God, he escaped like the one-armed man. He's gone. And I'm like, oh, jeez. And Michelle's yelling at me, we need the toad. Where's the toad? The toad. So then after we have Gatsby secured, after 20 minutes of running the water through his face, then now we're on the bufo toad hunt. Where the hell is the injured, punctured, poisonous bufo toad? So now we're poking through all the shrubs and the bushes, and we finally found them in the mulch next to a wall in my backyard, inside the shrubs. So we finally found him, and that's when we jammed him in a bag. And I didn't give a. Online, it's like how to kill the bufo toad humanely.
He was on his way to death anyway.
You need some lidocaine. And it's like, listen, I'm not Dexter with syringes and ketamine. I don't have this stuff handy.
So would a hawk eat a bufo toad or something?
I don't know. Anyway, I put the bufo toad in the bag, and he was already injured. I think he already was about to die anyway. But I don't need the damn toad still in the yard. But the warning is, folks, here in the Tampa Bay area, there are plenty of these bufo toads. Didn't you go online and you saw, Michelle, a whole listing? What did you find?
It was on one of the news websites. They had a chart or a map that showed you how many had been observed in a certain area.
They had one of the TV stations locally on their website had a bufo toad tracker.
Yeah,
that's great.
We have more, I guess, this year than has been reported in the past. So it's of concern. So
I know they're active more at night, but this was
Yes, they are.
this is 11 o'clock in the morning
That's
yesterday,
crazy.
And I don't know whether the bufo toad was back in the birds of paradise and wedged in and sleeping, and the dogs found it. But Michelle, we got freaking lucky yesterday that Gatsby's not dead.
We did.
And we immediately called our vet, Dr. Gray from South Tampa. We've dealt with Dr. Garcia, Dr. Gray over there for 25 years plus. And I called Dr. Gray on her cell, and she was at the beach. I think she was on vacation or something.
I know. Thank you for taking the call. I felt so bad for her.
Yeah, thanks, Dr. Gray.
Vacation.
Yeah, she's like, hey, I'm at the beach. I'm like, hey, I got a kind of an emergency. And she was great. She was like, absolutely. And, when I told her that we flushed Gatsby's mouth out with water for 20 minutes, she's like, good job. And she was asking about heartbeat. Hey, take his pulse and what's his heart rate. And, she felt pretty comfortable because of the way he was behaving, that we had gotten it in time and we cleaned out his mouth before any toxins potentially really killed him or something.
Well, he was behaving pretty normally once we had
Flushed him out.
30, 40 minutes later, right?
Yeah.
He was, not shaking his head. He was not seizing. He was not, foaming anymore. I think we'd gotten all of the toxins.
Anyway, thanks, Dr. Gray, for taking the call. And yeah, we felt pretty comfortable that we were in the clear. We got lucky. All right, Michelle, I'll see you soon.
Did you end up putting the frog in the freezer or something? How'd
No.
you ultimately?
He was already dead.
Oh,
Yeah. At that point, I think he was already dead, but you're supposed to put him in the freezer or put him in the fridge and then put light. I don't listen.
Take him out with a cattle gun.
This dude was already gone.
But folks, be careful here in the Tampa Bay area. If you've got pets out in the yard, these bufo toads are out there and they will kill your pet. And the bottom line is, after I shot the Instagram live video, I started getting all these comments. I got a bunch of email at mj@mjmorningshow.com, and people were telling me that their dog was deathly ill. They didn't know if it was going to recover. I got some emails saying that their pet actually died from a bufo toad interaction.
Yeah, usually little dogs don't take that well.
Yeah.
Jack Russell's.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Gatsby was in that category.
Very lucky. All right, Michelle. Talk to you later. See you in a bit.
Bye.
All right, bye-bye. And again, I shot the aftermath on my Instagram Live. And again, I encourage all of our MJ Morning Show listeners, if you want to see the video after we flushed his mouth out, if you want to see my bleeding finger where Gatsby chopped down while I'm trying to jam a hose in his mouth, the video, I did post it. So I did an Instagram Live yesterday, and I posted the video so you can see it. My Instagram is Certified Todd Schnitt. So give me a follow. Check out my feed because you never know what I'm going to post. Pictures, videos. You never know when I'm going to go live, where, why, when. So on Instagram, give my personal account to follow. I'm Certified Todd Schnitt. So the word certified, then TODDSCHN as in November, ITT. Certified Todd Schnitt. Give me a follow. And, check out this video. It's frantic. It's crazy. It's like, oh, my God. And while you're at it, also follow the official MJ Morning Show Instagram. And that is MJ Morning Show on Instagram as well. So that's the drama, folks. But please be careful with your pets and these damn bufo toads here in the Tampa Bay area. All right, we got to get into the cheating deal. Andrew, get that little promo ready to go, would you please? The 1K song of the day is in my hand. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now 8 o'clock here at the MJ Morning Show on Q105. Let me take 10 seconds here and tell you that today's $1,000 song, the 1K song of the day, is Papa Don't Preach by Madonna. Now, it's going to play sometime between 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. When you hear Papa Don't Preach by Madonna, be the 7th caller here at Q105 and win $1,000 cash. Good luck from Q105. All right, Fester.
Yes.
I made your little cheating thing here. I made this the promo to bring people to the show.
I'm flattered.
Yeah.
And look at the thousands and thousands of people I've brought to the show today.
Andrew, this is the promo that ran yesterday, just to kind of set the tone here. All right, roll it, Andrew. All right, Fester's being very cryptic. He wants to talk about cheating. He's being cagey. All right, I'll bite. All right, so Fester said, hey, I want to talk about cheating tomorrow. But he wouldn't give me all the details. Well, I now have a little bit more of the story here. So, Fester, you stumbled upon, was it like in that Reddit group that you like, or I don't know.
Am I the bleep hole?
No, nothing like that. It's
what?
Reddit. Okay.
Froggy's like, what did Roxanne just say?
Reddit has a subgroup where people pose questions or problems they have. Am I the bleep hole for doing this in my life?
Oh,
that's sort of like the headline. That's the category. That's the name of the group, and it's called "Am I the Bleep Hole?" Of course, there's and people will post a story or a scenario of something they did, and they're asking, "Hey, am I the bleep hole in this case?" And it's a big subreddit group.
Yeah, AITA and
am I the bleep hole?
Here, like AITA for yelling at my husband and my mother-in-law for not letting them into the delivery room.
All right.
So all kinds of scenarios.
All right.
That's not what this is.
The cheating story. Explain what the cheating story is, and you think we ought to go to phones here, right?
Well, it's a compilation list of how different people uniquely found out that they were being cheated on. How did you learn about it? And there's some really pedestrian ways, like, oh, he left his Facebook open, or I slid into his DMs and saw him talk. Who cares? That's very run of the mill. But this list had some pretty unique ways of how some sleuth work might have been involved, or something completely ridiculous that just unfolded the whole scam, the whole lie, the whole cheating scenario.
Right. I don't think we need to talk about a specific story, but it's just the idea.
So I'm thinking, forget about this list and what they published here, but just our listeners. How did you learn that you were being cheated on?
Oh my God, I have a friend.
Hold on one second.
Call in, Froggy.
Froggy, call in 800-990-1047. So the story that Fester has, it had a bunch of stories about how people discovered that they were being cheated on by a boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, whatever. And look, we don't need to share these stories. What Fester is saying, man, we ought to go to phones and ask our listeners, how did you discover that you were being cheated on?
Hold on. We need a little self-editing here. Give out the number, and I'll tell you about the self-editing we need.
All right, 800-990-1047. How did you discover that you were being cheated on? 800-990-1047.
I got a story. How do I need to self-edit?
Well, here's the thing. It's a very personal subject. I mean, everybody has their own story or that they think is really, really great. It can't be like he started working out and I got suspicious. That's very pedestrian.
Okay, this is not pedestrian.
But wait a minute. That's
one way you figure it out.
That is good. Hold on. That is good if that was the initial clue, and then you can tell us how the rest of it unraveled. All right, now we've got two stories here. Roxanne, I think Froggy was first.
Okay,
my wife
Mine's
thought
crazy.
My wife thought I was fooling around when she saw me brushing my teeth more often. And I just told her, no, Dr. Childress told me I need to brush my teeth more often. That's the only reason.
Let's go to phones on this. So Andrew is screening calls, 800-990-1047. So phone us up. How did you discover you were being cheated on? Or if you've got a story of a friend, a relative, if you know of a story on how the discovery was made. 800-990-1047 is how you get in. All right, Froggy first, then Roxanne, you're up second, all right?
This is crazy. You ready for this?
Yeah.
My buddy, a florist called him, okay? And they were like, listen, we got a dozen roses, okay? We want you to give it to somebody who you love. It's a special thing, right? And his girlfriend set up the thing, right? Or his wife. He gave the roses to his girlfriend.
All right.
Can you believe?
Hold on. Isn't that some staged radio bit deal?
Stage? No, it's real. It's totally real.
The fakest radio bit in the world.
And I was like, what?
Come on.
We're going to play more.
Froggy's having a seizure over here.
We got Froggy's friend Brian on the line. Brian, hey, this is the Herb and Itchy morning show.
Calm down, dude.
We're gonna do it again tomorrow at 7:25.
War of the Roses.
Oh my God, I think that was the name of it.
We got War.
I almost died, guys.
All right, Froggy, you're gonna have an asthma attack over there.
I've never laughed so hard.
Dude, calm down.
Okay, Roxanne, what's your story?
All right, so Roxanne, is your story real and not a fake War of the Roses story?
No, and it's kind of gonna one up that story.
Oh no, never.
The story was fake, by the way, Roxanne. So anything you say
mine was 100% not real.
Froggy's story was fake. All right, go ahead.
Okay,
what is yours?
So
and then we'll go to phones.
Somebody who I was close to in my family who was suspicious of their longtime, basically husband, longtime boyfriend.
Hold on, they're
cheating
basically.
On them.
Oh, you're saying they were together for a long time.
Yes.
You mean like you and Doug
like
engaged?
a situation.
You're sort of married, but you're not.
Right.
Okay.
And then so there was some. I'm not going to go through all the suspicions that were there, but to get to the meat of it, I put on a disguise.
Oh God.
I put a wig on and I pretended to smoke a cigarette, and I borrowed a car. And I went to his place of business and I waited outside his place of business. I was like 18 at the time. And I followed him and he went to a different home than where this person thought that he lived at. And he was living with another woman, and he was living a complete double life.
Wow.
So that's how he got busted.
You were 18 and you're already doing like private investigator work?
I was. It was
you have a crazy past. I mean, the friend whose husband was cheating on her.
Yeah, that was another
and
double life kind of deal.
You spray painted cheater on the side? What did you spray paint?
Adulterer.
Yeah. So
Adulterer.
Roxanne had a friend whose husband was cheating on her, and Roxanne, this was up in Jacksonville, right?
Yes, it was. Good memory.
And Roxanne took a can of red spray paint. Would you go to Home Depot and buy it?
It was New Year's Eve, and I'm trying to think what was open. Home Depot was not open. It was like $11.50 on New Year's Eve.
Had to have been Walmart.
It had to have been Walmart.
And you bought a red can of spray paint, and you spray painted adulterer in huge letters on the side of this guy's house.
And this was a really bad guy. He was a police officer and an attorney, and he was like saying that he was doing night shifts and then hooking up with all these women. And it was just, I had to,
Did you spell it right?
I did, and I Googled it before I sprayed it.
So she's standing there with her phone out, spray painting on the side of this guy's house.
Let's go to phones here. Again, how did you discover you were being cheated on? Let's grab your calls. If you're on hold, hang on. We'll get to you. 800-990-1047 is how you get in. Mike's in Clearwater. Hi, Mike.
Hey, how you doing?
Doing well. How did you discover you were getting cheated on?
My ex-fiance, obviously now, she was feeling sick, vomiting, all that. Said she had food poisoning. I was going to bring her some food, called her up. She said she didn't want to see me. She was just feeling too sick and didn't want to see anybody. I was like, okay. 10 minutes later, I get another text message with a bunch of nudes and her saying, I'm waiting for you. He doesn't know.
Oh, my God. So that's one of those cases where you send out the wrong. Yeah, a lot of times when you send the text message to the wrong person, because you got a couple of things going on, you got maybe you're involved in you got a couple of conversations going on, and you send the wrong message to somebody. In most cases, they're innocuous. It doesn't matter. It just doesn't mean anything. Hey, just ignore that. But in this case, that was the wrong time to send the message to somebody else.
Yeah.
All right, so what did you do? Did you end things immediately? Did you what transpired?
I played it out for about like a week,
But wait, she didn't realize that she sent you those? You played it out for a week? Didn't she see in her sent box that she'd sent them to you?
No, she deletes all text messages immediately. That should have been my first clue.
Wow.
But she deletes even my text messages I would send her. She would delete because she said she didn't want them taking up space. And
yeah, whatever. Anyway, so you played out for a week, and then what happened?
I just tried to find out who it was, and Jesus, it was my friend.
Oh man.
Oh.
Were roses involved?
Well, now you don't have a fiance, then I'm sure you didn't have a relationship with the friend anymore either after that, right?
No, I mean, he wasn't like a close friend. Yeah. He just, one of the work guys that I worked with.
How long was it going on before it was discovered?
About 6 months.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, man.
All right, Mike, thanks for the call. Appreciate it.
Oh,
Let's
Mike.
grab, how about Marilyn? Marilyn's in Tampa. Marilyn, how did you discover you were being cheated on?
I'm the one that actually didn't catch him. His mother did. He decided to sit there and use her email address, and they were sending, messages and pictures and everything. His mother checked her email and then called me and was like, Marilyn, I'm sending you forwarding some emails to you. You need to have a conversation with my son. So I opened him up, and he was an OTR, an over-the-road trucker.
Yep.
And we were married for 24 years. He came home 2 days later, and I was waiting.
Wow.
I do not want to laugh at this situation at all. I'm sorry, but who sends stuff from their mother's email?
What is this?
All right, listen.
He wasn't thinking with the head on his shoulders.
Honey,
I get it.
You're going to get an email from me from Ethel Loves Crocheting at
At
AOL.com.
Send all
AOL.com.
nudes to this email, please.
He's her only son, so I'm assuming he thought she would keep his secret and have a conversation with him herself and not come directly to me because I'm the daughter-in-law.
Yeah.
But me and my ex-mother-in-law have a very good relationship.
Wow.
So yeah, that was War of the Roses in Tennessee all over.
Oh my God! All right, thanks for the call, but that was real, not fake, like War of the Roses.
I love Maryland.
I like
War of the Roses.
All right, Rachel in Winter Haven. Rachel, MJ Morning Show, you're up. Hi.
Hi, how are you?
We're well. What happened?
My boyfriend of 5 years, who spent at least 4 nights a week at my home, he, a friend of the family's child went to a school that was like an hour away and played baseball. Very elite school for baseball. And I never mentioned it. It's nothing that you would mention. Well, I went to one of the district championships to the field, and he was there with another woman because her son played on the same baseball team as my family member.
Oh,
My God, it's like Bull Durham or something.
at a high school
And
baseball
then,
tournament.
That's not the topper. He was married the entire time
Oh,
to
jeez.
someone else other than the girl he showed up at the baseball field with.
Yeah, you get one of those.
Oh, dude, how do you have this much energy?
Man, all right. Well, have you moved on and you living happily ever after now?
I am happily married, going on 5 years. Everything's wonderful. You just have to say, there are red flags to look for and pay attention to them.
Rachel, thanks for the call. Thanks for the advice. 800-990-1047. 800-990-1047. What are you going wow over
I'm
there
just
for?
saying, a baseball tournament from 100 miles away, and there he is.
How about that? Indio's in Tampa. Hey, Indio, MJ Morning Show, you're next.
Hey, how you doing? Good morning. Love the show.
Thank you. What happened?
So something told me to get up and check my phone. I have to share my phone, or I find my iPhone, and my ex-wife at the time was on it. I take a look. I see that she's at a hotel. And I call my brother, and I said, what should I do? He says, you better go over there. And he's like, and I went, and sure enough, after looking a while, and there she was coming out the room and wound up in the van with the guy. I mean, that was 2019. I never looked back ever since. And, she married the guy, And,
Wow.
I'm married. So, yeah.
And have you moved on? Have you found the new love of your life?
Yeah, believe it or not, I married my high school sweetheart. So it worked out.
See, that's not believe it or not, Indio. Believe it or not is if you would have married the woman working the counter at the hotel. That's believe it or not.
That gave you the free warm chocolate chip cookies upon check-in.
Yeah, I love that. That's great.
Indio,
You're welcome.
Thanks for the call, Indio. Veronica is in Palm Harbor. Hey, Veronica, MJ Morning Show. Welcome.
Hi, good morning. Thank you.
How did you find out that you were being cheated on?
I found out I was with this guy for a couple of years, and he was getting ready to go to work in the morning. He left his lunchbox at the house.
He left what?
So
Lunchbox.
Oh, he left his lunchbox. All right.
Yeah, so he left the lunchbox, and I said, okay. I tried calling, texting him, and he wouldn't answer the phone. So I said, okay, I'm just going to go by his job, and I'm going to drop it off. Well, I get there, I'm calling, I'm texting, and he's a nurse. So he picks up the phone and says, I can't talk right now, the doctor's in. So I'm like, okay. So I pull up to his job, and there's no car to be found. He's not at work.
Wow.
And then I answered the phone later, and he's like, oh, I'm with a friend, and he was with the woman.
Yeah, he was with a friend, all right.
I didn't know where you were going with the lunchbox story. I thought like you were going to find condoms in his lunchbox or something.
No. No, I was just being a sweetheart and taking his food to work for him.
Oh, that's a shame. And hopefully you've moved on and you've found love after that mess.
I have. I've been married for 6 years now.
Excellent. Veronica, thanks for checking in. All right, a couple more here, man. Phones are just
They're nonstop.
A lot of people are getting cheated on.
Everybody has a story, MJ.
Yeah.
Almost everybody has at least one humdinger of a story where it ended nasty.
Let me grab, is it Tina? Yeah, let's grab Tina in Tampa. Hi, Tina. MJ Morning Show, you're up.
Yes, hi. I was with someone for 13 and a half years, and he lived with me, helped me raise my children, and noticed he was going out of town a lot, and then also noticed that when we were having our private time, there were new things introduced. And I'm like, where is this coming from? And so I just, kept my eye and noticed little red flags, and he beat me to the punch. He actually left me the day before Irma.
Oh, wow, the hurricane. Oh, jeez.
We're under a hurricane warning. Oh, by the way, honey, I'm leaving.
And you know what would be really ironic? If the woman's name was Irma.
Oh,
No, actually, she looked exactly like me. She wore her hair, and I was just like, I could laugh about it now, but then I was like...
She looked exactly like you?
Yes, she wore her hair like me. Uh-huh. No. Exactly.
Can I ask, without being too dirty and clean for broadcast, what was one of the things that he introduced into your private sexy time? All right, if you listen,
good question. I want to know too.
If you can't say it cleanly, then don't say it.
Yeah, it is something that I never imagined doing, and
okay, we'll leave it at that.
A different form of.
Let's. Hey, Rox, do you want to talk to her off the air to get some tips and tricks?
Well, Tina over here can teach a couple things.
Yeah, hey, Tina, thanks for listening.
Yeah, send us emails, Tina.
Sure.
All right.
Yeah, I'm telling you, phones are loaded. The minute somebody drops off, somebody else is buzzing in on this. If you're just tuning in, Fester found something on like Reddit, and it was like
a compilation of different how I found out I was being cheated on stories. I don't care about those people. I care about you guys. I want to hear your stories.
Kelly in Bradenton. Kelly, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
Good morning, guys. How are you doing?
What happened?
So my ex-wife, she used to go up to Gainesville a lot to visit with her sister, and unbeknownst to me, she was fooling around with a guy up there. So she was a smoker, and one evening she was out on the front steps smoking, and I was going to go out and sit with her, and I heard her say, "Don't worry, baby, just give me a couple months and I'll be with you." I opened the door and I told her, I said, "Tell him to come now. I'm packing your trash right now. You're out of here."
Whoa. There you go.
Did she take all of her ashtrays with her?
Yep, take all the ashtrays, take all the cigarettes, take it all. You're out of here.
What brand, just out of curiosity, what brand cigarette did she smoke?
She smoked Marlboro Reds.
There you go.
Yeah, that's
hardcore.
That's some hardcore stuff.
Number one for cheaters. Thank you.
I saw it in the new ad.
Anonymous. Oh, man. Anonymous is in St. Pete. Hi, Anonymous. You're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
Hi. Okay, so you guys all know me, but I would remain anonymous.
Whoa. Hold on.
Okay. Just let Anonymous talk.
Hold on.
Let Anonymous talk.
Please.
We all know her.
Stop. MJ, stop.
Just stop.
All right. Hello, Anonymous.
Hi, Anonymous.
All right, go ahead, Anonymous.
Okay, so I was dating this guy for a year, and I suspected that he was cheating with his ex-girlfriend, who is a hairdresser here in Tampa. Now, I don't go to her, but I do know people that go to her. So one day, we were just casually talking, me and him, and I go, "Oh my God, I heard such and such. I lied about this. Had an STD." His face cringed up so bad. His face cringed up so bad, and I'm pretty sure he probably set a doctor's appointment for that next week. Well, from there, I was like, okay. So then I started doing more investigation, and I actually spoke with her through Instagram, and she said that, yeah, they have been seeing each other, so I was right, even though I lied about it.
Wow, you were like an ST detective. STD detective.
ST detective.
Yeah, ST detective. Wow.
And I ended up telling him that it was a lie, but just to see his reaction in that first 20 minutes was all the information that I needed. So.
Gotcha.
You should have put your you didn't even need to put your hands on his wrist and feel his pulse. You
Yeah.
know, you're doing a lie detector test.
That was smart. Anyway,
Yeah.
we do know who you are. We'll see you later. Goodbye.
Maybe I'll see you soon.
Have a good day. Thanks.
Hi, Carly.
Thanks for calling in. That's good. All right, let me just grab a couple more. We got to move on here. Emerson is in Tampa. Hi, Emerson. You're the second to last call because I got to move on. Emerson, how'd you find out you were getting cheated on?
So one weekend, I went out to the clubs, and I noticed my girlfriend was in the club with another guy. And prior before that, she told me that basically she was with her mother. So I paid my mind to it. So I went out to the clubs with my friends, and next thing I know that I see her with somebody else. Come to find out is that my girlfriend was with my oldest brother.
Oh, man. Oh, that's awful. And
yeah, it was really heartbreaking, but I kind of played it off for like almost a week or two, and then after that, I kind of confessed with my brother to where that he was completely stunned and speechless to where that I haven't spoken to him for like almost 3 years now.
Oh, okay. That was going to ask you. I was going to say, how's the relationship with your brother? And you haven't spoken with him for 3 years?
That's correct.
Now, is he still with her?
No. As I know that they were broken up that same month.
Yeah, well, that wasn't a good move then. Hey, thank you, buddy. Have a good day. Emerson, thanks for listening. All right, last call on this. Man, we could do this for the rest of the show.
I know.
But Andrew, tell everyone thank you for phoning in, but I got to move on. Last call, Sophie. Sophie in Tampa, welcome.
Hi. Oh, I'm so excited. So, my story is I was 18 and I was dating this guy, and for about a couple years, probably a year and a half, and I started noticing red flags. We would talk normally, and then he would start whispering out of nowhere. So finally I confronted him. I'm like, what's going on? Something is wrong. He confessed that he was in fact married and that his wife was a cop, and that if I told her, he would come and shoot me.
What?
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my.
He basically was intimidating me or threatening me. He's like, if you tell her, she will come and shoot you.
Holy crap. Where was this? What city?
Tampa.
So
Yeah.
he was suggesting that his cop wife was going to come shoot you?
Yes.
How long ago was this? You said you were 18. How long ago?
Oh man, that was like 15 years ago. But I mean, I was traumatized. And I will say this, I was 18 and he was 36.
All right, so there's a lot of issues here.
Yeah.
All right.
I know.
Hey, thanks for the call. I appreciate it.
All right.
All right.
Wow.
I don't know how I feel when callers end their call with, yeah, all right.
No, that's a crazy story. You know, I listen. It's been long enough that I can probably talk about this. And Brian James is now deceased.
Yeah.
Remember Brian James?
Yes.
Brian James. We worked with him at the Power Pig and at FLZ. Brian James was a great guy. He did production. He was a voiceover guy. He was the voice of Extra, the TV show nationwide. Brian James had a friend that would take these Radio Shack handheld scanners and modify them so you could listen to the cellular phone bandwidth.
Shut up, really?
Yes, yeah. I still have it. I still have the scanner, but it's obsolete these days because all of the analog cell channels went digital. But I bought this, like $150 or something. It was a modified Radio Shack handheld scanner, and you could listen to cell calls. And we're sitting over in South Tampa in our first home, near the YMCA on Himes. And Michelle and I were listening to this phone call on the scanner. It was like, this voyeuristic kind of thing going on. And we got so much information. It was a 17-year-old girl or 16-year-old girl who worked at the Albertson supermarket in Britton Plaza, and she was talking to a local cop They were having a thing. The local cop was having a fling with like this 17, and they were saying, yeah, but, I'm 17, and somehow the age came up, and we're hearing, I'll stop by later on, and he's talking about, I don't want to make my wife suspicious and this. So, what year was? I wonder if Michelle. Hold on, what if Michelle still remembers this? Because we were.
Was it late 90s? Or
it would have been like 1998, 97.
Was Chloe born yet?
No, Chloe was not
She was born
yet.
in 2001.
Chloe was born in August of 01. So, I gotta.
Hello.
Hey, are you listening?
Yes.
Do you remember that?
I don't remember those details. I thought it was a cop and a girl was at HCC.
No. It was a cop. I think it was a TPD officer, and it was like because she said her age. She was like 17 years old, and it was the Albertsons. She worked at the supermarket at Britton Plaza.
I mean, she might have gone to HCC at 17, works at the Albertsons.
No, I'm pretty sure she probably went to Planter Robinson is what I'm thinking.
Oh, no.
Yeah, that's not quite at HCC yet. But do you remember that scanner we had? We could listen to the cell phone calls?
Oh, yeah. Every Sunday morning.
Yeah, I think the statute of limitations. Has run out, but I still have that scanner somewhere in a box.
Would it still work with his new?
No, it does. That's the point. Is when and this is another thing. Do you remember that cell phones used to sound much better?
Yeah.
They did.
They did. So with the old analog cell phones, they sounded much better than all this compressed digital crap. So, all right, Michelle, see you in a bit.
Okay, bye.
Bye. Yeah.
We're getting so many interesting responses on the text line. Two interesting ones. Someone was recorded by their spouse on their phone line.
Right.
And another is someone went into a neighborhood to cheat, and they got one of those, like, when the gate guy gives you a tag that you have to be to get into the neighborhood, and they didn't remove that tag.
They left the tag on their rearview mirror? Hey, honey, why do you have this tag from Avila or Cheval
I
or
went to Adulterer Oaks community this week.
Whatever from Del Boca Vista.
Funny.
Yes, I was having an affair with Mabel.
Mabel's hot. She's a freak.
Very
All
giving
right,
lover.
moving along, folks. Did you see the fireworks accident in the front yard?
Where did that happen?
We don't know. I asked Andrew. I said, I couldn't find out where it happened. This is unbelievable. Andrew, do you have the video ready to go up at mjmorningshow.com? Do you have it?
It will be.
Okay. We'll put this up in just a bit on mjmorningshow.com, but this is crazy. Captured by a Simply Safe camera. Listen, you got the Ring doorbells, you got Simply Safe, you got all these. What is the other one? There's a bunch of these things.
A lot of these camera systems.
Yeah, you got these camera systems, and, well, a family having a 4th of July celebration in the front yard. It looks like they had lawn chairs. Did they bring out a couch and stuff?
It was a nice family front yard party.
Right.
They had some fireworks in the street or coming out and enjoying themselves.
This family has a 4th of July party in their front yard. Their Simply Safe surveillance camera caught the whole damn thing, and it looks like is a couple of kids. And they're all together. So somebody in the group, they start lighting fireworks on the sidewalk. First, I don't know who holds a 4th of July party with a blanket and food. Who does it in the front yard of their house?
Well, you like the fireworks in your street, so it makes sense to have it in the front yard.
Now, anyway, it looks like you had some teenagers or whatever. They light the fireworks on the sidewalk right in front of the front lawn. And the firework they lit went errant. It was and it shot off toward the people sitting on the front lawn. And there were some small kids there and everything. And then what happens next is insane. So here's the story. We don't know exactly where it happened, but it's maybe by now. We looked this morning, but at some point, I got to believe that more details are going to come out.
So the Twitter handle that first put it out is new_Orleans Jazz.
So could it be in Louisiana?
Maybe. I don't know.
All right. So this is a front yard, some suburban neighborhood. They're having the cookout, 4th of July, and there was a misfire. and one of the fireworks just shoots into the folks sitting on the lawn, all picked up. But then they must have had a gigantic box, a whole stash of fireworks on the driveway right behind like this blue minivan.
So the supply was right next to the tailgate of the van.
It looks like they're on the sidewalk, maybe 30 feet away or 25 feet away. And then there's this blue minivan, and there's a whole corrugated cardboard box behind the minivan, which must have been loaded with additional fireworks. So they set off this bottle rocket. It looks like some teenagers. The bottle rocket aims toward the people on the front yard. Then they start panicking. All right, Fessa, let the video roll.
So what happens is they put the bottle rocket too far in the ground, and it never leaves the ground.
Right.
You see the initial cloud, and then it explodes in all directions, including the people and the supplies. Watch.
And then listen to what happens next. All right, we've got the audio. We'll play that here. So it goes off, but then the whole box gets ignited. A spark, part of the errant bottle rocket that fired off into the people, part of it also shot right into the box packed with fireworks behind the minivan. And this is what happened. Run. Here it is.
You cannot stick it in the ground. It's not going to work. Who did that? You got to put it in the shoe.
And then the whole box goes off. This is insane. How much did they have? It's like this 20-second display, and everything is blowing up. There must have been damage to that minivan.
You think?
Yes, I think.
Yeah, I'm amazed the minivan didn't blow up. The gas tank is right there.
Yeah.
They probably have one of those big boxes of fireworks that have like 1,000 fireworks in it, different kinds.
I mean, they probably got like 10 of those boxes.
Yeah.
This is a massive explosion.
This was a serious explosion as tons of fireworks then get ignited, and they're all running for their lives. We didn't hear of any injuries, but this could have been a really nasty situation.
I mean, they had time to run away. The first bottle rocket just shot sparks at people. It's not, that's not going to kill you, but that's what lit the armory.
Did you see that? It looked like one of the women or a mother like grabs like a small kid. Were they on the blanket?
Yeah.
Right on the front lawn, and this thing just went to hell in a handbasket very, very quickly. And I still want to know where it happened. Is there any identification? Yeah, it's just the Twitter handle was like what you said, New Orleans Jazz or what did it say?
New_Orleans Jazz.
Yeah, maybe it's Louisiana. Yeah, Andrew.
Yeah, Simply Safe is even saying that they want to know if these people are safe, and that no, this was not a stunt advertising Simply Safe.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the best publicity Simply Safe could hope for, right?
Yeah. I wonder if they're going to do a TV commercial with this footage and have that the robber guy with the burglar mask on.
Yeah, and the mustache.
And he'll show up with like a fire extinguisher or something to put this out. What a mess. Oh, speaking of stuff exploding, now we do know where this happened. Did you see the guy with the barbecue grill that exploded in Pasco, and they rushed him to like a burn unit in Orlando?
What?
Oh.
Now, Fessa, you'd like to profess that you're like a grilling expert.
I cooked a thing or two.
Remember back in the day that you decided you were going to do a grilling radio show, so suddenly you were like a grill master?
Listen,
Tony Fatso
if you do a radio show about anything, people think you're an expert.
Fester had an alter ego. He had a persona called Tony Fatso.
He was good at BSing through those shows, though.
You had the Tony Fatso radio show on 970 back, like 15, 18 years ago?
I told Froggy about the idea for the show, and he's like, I'm going to leave you in the studio for 30 minutes. See if you could talk about chicken the whole time. And I did.
And you did.
I did. He's like, okay, you can do it.
Seems like it'd be good for TV, too, that concept.
This is terrible.
Oh, it was on TV, the Cigar Dave show.
Now, did you ever have an exploding barbecue?
No, I've never had an exploding barbecue.
Well, let me tell you, we had an exploding barbecue, and let's talk about what happened up in Land O'Lakes. No LOL up there, folks. Fire and rescue officials had a medevac via helicopter a guy that had a barbecue accident up in Pasco. According to Pasco Fire and Rescue, this guy was trying to light this propane grill, and the thing exploded. And this happened about 7:30 p.m. This was Wednesday night. So what? Last night, right? Was this today's Thursday? So this happened. Let's see. This was posted on July 6th.
That was yesterday. And the version I have is at about 8 o'clock last night.
Oh, gee, this is just awful. I feel bad for the guy. So fire and rescue showed up. They responded. They called for a medical helicopter immediately to bring the guy to a hospital as quickly as possible because of the burns. We don't know exactly what caused the fire, but did I see that they helicoptered him to Orlando? I thought I heard that on the news last night.
Is there some amazing burn unit in Orlando?
Well, that's what I want to know. I mean, we have very good hospitals in the Tampa Bay area.
TGH I thought was good for that for some reason.
Yeah, TGH. I mean, you got TGH is a very good hospital. It's nationally known. But right there. According to Pasco Fire and Rescue, the victim was taken to a hospital in Orlando. Does Orlando have a better burn unit than any hospital in the Tampa Bay area?
Or an available bed?
Well, I got to believe that there are beds available, but...
Yeah, MJ, a propane explosion is a nasty explosion. That's a big, fast, hot, expanding explosion.
Oh, is it hot?
Oh,
I thought it was cold.
No, it's not.
All right, Froggy, listen, we're being serious over here.
Yeah, Froggy.
Don't be
Explain an explosion as being hot.
Don't be a wise ass.
Is fire hot too?
But I wonder, we don't have a lot of detail here. Did the barbecue explode or did the propane tank itself explode?
The propane must have.
He probably went to the Warden Burn Center at Orlando Health Regional Medical Center. It's one of only 5 hospitals in Florida that has the burn center verification.
And one of the other 4 is not in Tampa. Okay.
What is that like having a Twitter blue check?
Sounds like it.
For burn units. So, according to the story that I'm reading off of Channel 10's website, the man was attempting to light a propane grill in Land O'Lakes when it exploded. So, you turn your gas on, and let's say you turn your back for a second, and then you come back with the stick lighter, and you light it. Suddenly, you have a big cloud of propane. Those propane canisters don't really explode. I mean, they're pretty safe.
And I've never heard of a propane tank itself exploding.
Right. I've dropped one like in front of Home Depot, trying to return it, and it didn't explode.
Right. Well, we had a barbecue. Here's my story. We had a barbecue when I was a teenager in Virginia Beach, and my dad, man, he was obsessed with grilling and barbecuing and everything. Everything went on the barbecue. But our grill, and I can't remember what brand it was, it didn't matter what you did. When you lit it, there was a fireball like it was a napalm explosion. It didn't matter what you did, whether you turned the gas on, this way, that way.
It's safe.
Whatever we did, when it was time to light, we had to put a match and duct tape it to a broomstick and stand 8 feet away and put them.
This was grill.
This was not one of the auto lights where you push the little sparker button. No, this thing, you had to light it, and we would have those long stick wooden matches. But I'm telling you, when I had to light Dad'd be like, all right, let's grill. Light the barbecue for me. And literally, I would take the long fireplace stick match, and I would tape it to a broom handle. I'd be 7 feet away trying to jam the lighted match into the little ignition hole.
Smart.
And every single time, it didn't matter what we did, that barbecue went with a fireball. I'm telling, there was an explosion of a warehouse with fireworks or something.
Earlier, you asked if I've ever had a barbecue explosion. Right. I was thinking a legit explosion. A fireball is something completely different. I've had hundreds of those, and they're scary. I've had arm hair singed off.
That's great.
It's
all right. Speaking of food, Roxanne is obsessed with this food dust. I don't know what.
I am. I admit it.
Hold on. Have you never heard of this?
I have not heard of this.
Yeah, there are going to be people who hear this and say, "What? You've never heard of this, Roxanne?" But it's new to me. Yes. And I'm in love.
Hold on, it's new to you, and you're in love with this food dust.
It's this weird thing called Parmesan cheese.
Froggy, in the Latin food or maybe
Yes.
Mexican food aisle,
Yes,
that's
it is.
as common as
It is. I realize that.
Hold on to that thought, because Roxanne, you hadn't heard of this up until how long ago?
A week ago.
All right, and I still haven't heard of this stuff. So Roxanne is now obsessed with this food dust that she's sprinkling on everything. Everything. All right, hold on. That and a whole lot more next on the MJ Morning Show here on Q105. producer. And thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for listening to the MJ Morning Show broadcast. Spread the word. Yes, we are back. It is 8:52. Lot to cover here. You know, the latest Brad Pitt story about his face deal? Hold on, this is crazy. But there was another Brad Pitt story that happened a couple of weeks ago that emerged, and I never got to it. But now we probably just ought to piggyback these like two Brad Pitt stories, and we'll get to that here in a second. First, though, Roxanne is obsessed. Roxanne is putting this fairy food dust on everything, and then Fester off the air is like, "You mean you've never had this? How do you not know about
Not
this?"
that you had it, but how have you not seen it or heard it before? It's been in your spice aisle for as long as I can remember.
Listen, you're like trying to lighten me up over here, and you're like,
gaslighting him?
No. I don't think that fits like gaslighting.
You
but-
lighting him up, man? How's that?
I'm trying.
But-
Trying to fire him up, bro?
Fester's trying to like minimize me. It's like, well, how could you not know about this?
Somebody's trying to minimize MJ of all. What do you mean you don't know about this? Oh, I guess I'm the only one.
Roxanne sends me this video. Roxanne shoots a video in her car, and she's talking about this spice, and she just discovered the spice, and she's putting this on everything. You know, what is the Frank's hot sauce commercial?
This bleep looks. What is it? I forgot.
I
put that shit on everything.
Yeah, that's the.
I put that shit on everything.
Yeah, that's the Frank's hot sauce deal.
I put that shit on everything.
All right, that's an actual commercial that we run on Q105. All right, so Roxanne sends me this video to my phone. She texts me this.
Hi there, MJ. Do you and Michelle eat tagine? I don't know if it's tagine or tahine. It's not tahini. Can you hold it up, babe?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay, so Doug and I got on this kick. My friend introduced me to it, and we've been eating it on everything like fruit, rice, chicken, fish, everything we can put on it. So I was going to bring it. I can bring it one day this week, put it on some watermelon, let everybody try it, see if you guys like it like I do. Or we could do a trick to someone. And maybe put like cayenne pepper on one of them. I don't know. Anyways, I'll talk to you about.
All right, so
are you crazy?
What a
what
a terrible idea.
Yeah, we're gonna tamper with food.
Yeah,
we're gonna food tamper.
That was my daughter's idea.
We're gonna poison
She's all over.
Froggies.
She wanted to trick Froggy.
That's
was her
great.
thing.
So your 5-year-old kid is already coming up with food tampering schemes. That's great.
She listens to our show.
You've never seen tahine before?
Tell you what, why don't you keep her away from Tylenol bottles in pharmacies? I've never seen this.
Okay. Can I talk about how I fell in love with tahine?
Okay.
Fester, it's my tahine.
So
Thank you very much.
The J would be tahine, right?
It is, but my friend who introduced me to it, she is her. I've talked about her before. Her name is Kettle.
Kettle?
Kettle?
As in the corn?
No, she's making up dumb names.
No, I'm not.
Her name is
Her
Kettle.
name is Kettle.
No, it's not. You don't have a friend named
Yes.
Kettle. All right, why do you have
It's
to?
Carol, but you pronounce it Kettle.
In her
Oh yeah.
What?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
stovetop.
What are you
She
talking
has
about?
a friend. The name is Carol, but she's.
What does he have a speech impediment?
Yes.
No.
My
She has-
name is.
I can't make the R or L sounds, so my name is Carol.
She's Cuban,
Right.
so her name is Kettle.
Okay, all right.
So, anyways, Kettle told me about. She, I think, dumbed it down for me because she said tagine, so I would know what to look for in the supermarket. But it's actually tahine. But don't confuse it with tahini. But I just here, MJ, I gave one to. Did I give one to you yet? Who
No.
hasn't gotten one?
Oh,
Froggy here.
Are you giving us all? No. I'm not putting out a watermelon.
Yes, you
No,
are.
I'm not. I just
Yes,
give
you
me,
are.
Give me the
Such
bottle.
a
Listen,
weenie.
Roxanne is handing
no.
us room temperature
Delicious.
watermelon
Yeah,
slices.
because I thought we were going to do it an hour ago.
Yeah, good.
MJ, I
Hold
gotta
on.
say, I was introduced to this by several women who put this on mangoes, and they put it on cantaloupe, and they also put it on like chicken as well. It's a lemon. I'm sorry, it's a lime. It's a lime, spicy Mexican
Delicioso.
inspired.
Yeah, it's not bad.
It goes
Wow.
good on everything. Like we
Wow.
leave the house and my daughter's like, "Who has the tagine? Who has it? Do we have it?" I carry it in my purse. We're putting on everything. I'm eating so much of it. I think I'm having an allergic reaction. My neck's turning red. My throat's closing up. I don't care. I'm
neck-
gonna overdose on it. I love it.
Let's see. I'm putting this sprinkle crap on everything called tahine. I'm having an allergic reaction. My neck is red. My throat is closing up, but I can't stop eating it.
I love it.
That's
Anybody
great.
got a straw? I want to snort some of this.
Right?
Why don't you just roll up $100 bill?
And it has like a lime kick to it.
You know what I heard? I heard that there are traces of tahini on most American currency.
Yeah,
Okay.
true.
Yeah.
Tahini is my crack. Let me tell you.
Can I see the bottle?
Yeah.
I just want to try it with. I want to try it alone. Just toss it over here.
You know what you could do is put some on like your hand, like if you're doing a tequila shot, and lick it off your hand.
He knows how to sample.
Yeah, I know how to sample something. I'm gonna lick your lid over here.
Oh
No. I'm just gonna pour some on the paper here.
And eat the paper.
It's kind of spicy, but not too spicy.
Right. Hang on.
And it's kind of tart because of the lime.
I'm gonna hold this up to the MJ TV camera. This tahini stuff.
Tahini.
And I just sprinkled it on the paper here.
Ew. It's not good, but I mean, by itself?
Oh, wow. That is.
It's like spritzy.
That is
yeah.
zesty.
Yeah, zesty. But I'm telling you, there's nothing that it doesn't make better. You want to go to,
Lucky Charms?
What about
I was thinking Cinnamon Toast Crunch with tahini on it.
I was thinking about dog poop. What do you think?
Okay, you really took it to another level.
Yeah, I did. No, it's refreshingly zesty tahini.
I bet you'd be good on corn on the cob.
And
with a lot of butter.
But it's got to be the right thing for me because
Everything.
I don't know if I want this on something savory.
Right, it's got to be something a little sweet.
That's
like
what I'm
ice
thinking.
cream. It goes on.
Ice cream.
It can go on almost anything.
Putting tahini on everything. Listen,
Chicken soup.
Roxanne is obsessed with this stuff.
Yeah,
and
good chicken soup.
Like
spaghetti.
You take me to you take me to a 5-star restaurant. I'm gonna probably offend the chef because I'm gonna pull out my bottle.
So
and then wait a sec. You're driving around with this in your car.
Yes.
So when you go to a restaurant or a fast food place, that you have it available to sprinkle this stuff on everything.
Stopped at Starbucks and put it on cake pops. Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
That sounds nasty.
All right. So Roxanne and her new obsession. All right. I got to get into the Brad Pitt matter, but first.
I noticed that you're still holding my bottle of tahini. Could you please give it back to me?
Here's your. I'll toss it. There's your.
Give her back her $3 bottle of Mexican spice.
There's your bottle of tahini.
Give me some tahini.
We got a complaint yesterday. Was it about this time we were talking about Netflix?
No.
And Stranger Things?
No.
When was that?
Earlier.
Was it early in the show?
Yes.
We didn't talk about it at all.
Yeah, I don't remember exactly when we talked about it.
We talked about Stranger Things Season 4 on yesterday's program. And we got a complaint. Ted, our program director, gets a voicemail complaint. Now, Fester, I'm going to try to call this number up.
Okay.
Oh, no. You're going to call the person?
Yeah. Yeah. I've got the voicemail complaint.
Oh, God.
727-318.
Is it because I said you could see the string on that one episode? And it's
No.
horrible?
All
right, good.
All right, Fester. All right, pick it up, and I don't know if I need to dial a 1 on that 727.
Is there a name?
What could we possibly have said?
I don't know if there's a name on here. Well, you know what? I think there's a name on the voicemail.
All right, it's like up to ring number 5.
Are they picking up?
My call has been forwarded to a voice automated system.
Leave a voicemail.
All right. Well, I want to talk to the individual, and I got a problem here. And the caller is complaining that we were insensitive and making fun of the chubbier kid from Netflix's Stranger Things. And
he's not chubby, is he?
We were he was
a little portly.
Yeah, he's a little portly. But
He's got the curly hair.
Were we making fun of the kid? I had pointed out we were talking about Stranger Things and that I had not seen season 4. Everyone's talking about season 4 and it's setting download records for Netflix. And I meant
that song that we played music from Netflix.
Oh, that's right.
From the 80s that's coming back and they're all really popular now.
Yeah, we were talking about we were talking about how this is like been revitalized. This Kate Bush song, Running Up That Hill, is used quite a bit, I guess, in the 4th season of Stranger Things. So that came up. And then also, what was it? Metallica's...
yeah.
No, that
Master
was
of Puppets.
Master of Puppets. That's in a pivotal scene in the season finale. So
And Kate Bush is making $250,000 a month because people are listening so much.
that's incredible.
All right.
So
Hey.
we were talking about Netflix, talking about Stranger Things season 4, and the fact that Michelle and I, we watched season 1 and 2. We have not watched season 3 and 4. I kind of burnt out on it. I kind of lost interest in Stranger Things. So we were talking about the characters, and we brought up the kid that's sort of the heavier kid, and I made some kind of mention, he's got some kind of a developmental issue or something. He doesn't have any teeth, or he's missing teeth. So we were talking about that, and then apparently somebody thought we were making fun of the kid. That is not the case. All right, here's the voicemail. So the voicemail is sent to Ted, our program director, which are they trying to get us in trouble? Listen to what happened.
Hello, I just wanted to call. So I normally listen to the show with the MJ Morning people. And I just thought it was very insensitive what they were saying about Stranger Things. That show is about, a band of misfits that are just trying to, make it known to others that it's okay to be different. And they shouldn't be making fun of somebody for a genetic disorder. I found that very insensitive, and I tried calling their line. Nobody answered. So I hope you can relay this message, because I feel like they should be a little more sensitive when they pick their topics of conversation. Thank you. Have a great day.
She's so polite.
So that voicemail was left for Ted, our program director. So Ted's like, yeah, I got to send you a voicemail. And then he said, well, and I don't know what that's about.
Obviously, she's a super fan because she's like, they're a band of super misfits.
I didn't think we were insensitive at all.
Let me tell you.
And she said, hold on a sec. She said she was trying to call in. Hey, Andrew, did you miss some of the phone lines ringing?
She might have called in at 11 o'clock when nobody's in here, or when Gino's
I would imagine she probably called in when we were talking about, hey, is the ringer on in that room?
No.
You got to turn the ringer on because, I think we missed a couple of calls yesterday. So
in radio, we like the ringer to be on.
No. But in the production booth, the ringer can be on. I don't have a problem with that. When Coop was in there, we used to hear sometimes the phone ringing in the background when we had him on the air. It's okay.
It's like a telephone.
Yeah, let's go to the tote board. All right. So apparently she tried to call in, and she's complaining that we were insensitive and we were making fun of. Listen, I brought up the fact that kid from Stranger Things does have this disorder, and I thought that he was born with no teeth. And did I say something?
All babies are born with no teeth, by the way.
Well, his teeth were not going to protrude. They weren't going to erupt.
He was born with the inability to have teeth come out.
Is that where I said something like I used the Blues Brothers line that you're gonna look pretty funny eating corn on the cob with no bleeping teeth?
You did, but that's what you do that every day.
But
that's what you do every day.
Being sensitive?
I was not making fun of the kid. I wouldn't make fun of the kid for a genetic disorder.
No.
So Roxanne, you listened back to the entire segment when I told you that we had this complaint.
Well, the funny thing is, when I first saw your text message about the complaint, and I just read the first line of it, that someone is offended by what we did on the show today, immediately 5 other things that we did came to mind. Not that topic.
What, Eric Clapton's balcony management problems?
Yes.
Froggy, I asked you to stop with that. That is insensitive. I
can't believe she's complaining about that.
I'm going to call Ted and complain about that.
It was just a joke.
Okay, so I went back and listened to it, and right off the bat, I was like, no, there wasn't anything like that when we talked about it. And I went back and listened. We were all actually quite uncharacteristically compassionate about it.
Yeah, for real.
Listen,
he's a kid.
I'm not going to make fun of a kid that has a genetic disease. That's the last thing I'm going to do.
So an observation of something as a fact is different than making fun of something.
Yeah, people. I think Froggy said oh, that stinks or that sucks, and MJ, you said
it definitely sucks not to have teeth. I would imagine.
Yeah, I mean,
you have no choice.
We were all.
See, that's making fun. See, that's a difference.
Oh, Froggy, just
No, Fester said
Fester made the joke.
The hysterical joke.
All right, Fester, I'm dialing the number. So I have the phone number because when people leave a voicemail and the file is sent to me, it has the number that they called from. So I'd like to seriously have a conversation with the woman who was complaining about our chat about this band of misfits just trying to fit in.
I wonder if she doesn't have teeth.
All right, Froggy,
She sounded normal.
All right, so
just stop. Yes, Fester.
I'm going to leave a message.
Is it?
You want to leave a message?
No. Is there a voice on there? Or is it
No,
just
it's
the
this automated voice message?
You've called 727. Blah, 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 blah.
Come on.
Hey, this is Fester from the MJ Morning Show. We got your voicemail that you sent to our program director, Ted, and we just wanted to have a conversation
trying to
about
get us
our
in trouble.
conversation yesterday. If you'd like to give us a call back, you apparently know the number.
No, 800-990-1047.
She dialed it yesterday, MJ. 800-990-1047. Hey,
Yes.
on another note, thank you for listening and being such an active listener.
No, we do appreciate it.
We do.
Yeah,
We-
no,
but-
she sounds like a
hold on.
lovely
I gotta
lady.
go.
Tell her to call back. Hey,
MJ's yelling
hold up the phone.
Hold on.
Hey, call us back. We want to talk about your complaint. MJ Morning Show Complaint Department. How can we help you?
All right. So anyway, thank you for
Jeez.
calling.
Okay, she's not
And,
going to call us back with
I
this
think
long
it was just
message.
all a big misunderstanding.
All right, Fester, hang up.
All right. Do you want to say anything to him,
Must
Froggy?
be
Bye.
some kind of mistake.
Big fan.
All right, bye.
She sounded like a nice lady who really loves these characters and loves this show.
Yeah, as you were over there doing the little psycho little twirl with your finger next to your head while I was
Yeah.
playing the voicemail.
What did
says Roxanne?
What a nut.
What? Hey, well, hold. I saw that.
Roxanne.
She did both fingers psycho.
Andrew, did you just get that on camera? Did you just get Roxanne? You gotta switch the cameras, dude. Come on.
I was switching them.
All right, hold on. You didn't get Roxanne doing this?
Not when she was doing.
Oh, you gotta get right.
Oh,
So
no.
there, you got it. So that's what I'm playing the voicemail, and Roxanne's going to.
Can you play the voicemail again? Just the first 10 seconds. What did she call us?
Yeah, all right, here we go.
Hello, I just wanted to call. So I normally listen to the show with the MJ Morning people.
The MJ Morning
With
people.
a followed by a laugh.
I just thought it was very insensitive what they were saying about Stranger Things. That show is about, a band of misfits that are just trying to.
Yeah, she sounds like she's a super fan. And
Well, she's not a fan of us if she's calling our program the MJ Morning people.
Yeah, and followed by a laugh. MJ Morning people.
She's being so dismissive and insensitive toward her.
listen, I would love to
I think
talk to
she's
the.
great.
I'd like to talk to the listener and try to I want to be like JB Smoove and smooth things over.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I'm hoping for. So that's the excitement around here.
Wow.
Yeah,
I can't believe it.
Yeah, but then Ted likes to passive aggressively send me like complaints and, what'd you do now? It's,
I remember the days a complaint was a good thing.
What is Ted's number in case anybody wants to lodge a compliment?
All right.
813-310-8444?
No, that's my number. That's
Oh,
my number.
That's your number. Sorry.
I'm not giving out Ted's cell number.
You weenie.
Or his office number. Yeah, it's not going to happen. The Brad Pitt situation. There's a new Brad Pitt story out, and this reminded me of the old Brad Pitt story. Now, Roxanne, can you pronounce, what is this? It's called...
Oh, shoot. Okay, let me pull
Oh
it
my
up.
God, I
Hold
thought
on.
she was going to curse.
so did I.
All right, so it's called Oh
And
Shoot.
the lady's going to call up and complain.
No.
Yes, hi, Ted. I was listening to the MJ Morning Show people,
Well.
and that woman lady,
Foul-mouthed.
female voice, she cursed. She said the S-bomb. All right, so what is it called?
Prosopagnosia. Prosopagnosia?
Prosopagnosia.
Yeah.
You sure?
Prosopagnosia.
How can you say that but not apocalyptic?
Don't.
Yeah, that's just, try to say
No, I can't today.
Try to say apocalypse.
Or any day.
All right.
Say apocalypse.
Say it. Come on. Come on. Say it.
Apocalypse.
It's
Apocalypse. Apocalypse. Okay, continue on.
All right. So
Apocalypse.
Brad Pitt has this condition. Explain.
So his condition is he doesn't recognize faces. So
Why are you laughing? What are you now? We get complaints on that. Hi, Ted. I was listening to the MJ Morning Show people, and now they're making fun of people who don't recognize faces, and they have the prosopagnosia or whatever.
You have no face,
So
sir.
Prosopagnosia.
What is that dope see?
He'll meet you. Brad Pitt will meet somebody and then see them again like 6 months later, and the face doesn't look familiar at all.
It's called being a selfish jerk.
No, listen, I got to tell you a couple of things. This is why I'm laughing so hard. You guys don't watch it, but Arrested Development is a fantastic show. And
I've seen it.
They've had a whole episode about some of the characters, and they had this disease. And that's what I'm flashing back to is the sitcom and how they portrayed it.
So like 20 years ago, Arrested Development, they dealt with Brad Pitt's disorder?
Not his disorder, but one of the characters. Yes, one of the characters on the show.
It's a real thing. You can't. What do you see? Just a blank face?
So the other reason I'm laughing.
It's called face blindness.
Yes, the other reason I'm laughing is because my sister sometimes says that she has it, and she says she'll like go places if she's supposed to meet me somewhere, and she'll walk up to a random stranger and think that it's me.
What? What? Oh, come on.
Right,
You're making
she has
this
a blood
up.
clot in her brain.
Seriously, she may want to get checked out.
I mean, stop. Don't make fun of blood clots. Stop it.
Froggy's making a medical observation.
Hello, Ted. Yes, the MJ Morning
Well-
people are talking about blood clots now.
Okay, there's no way
All
your
right.
sister didn't recognize you unless she's blind.
No. So, anyways.
Brad Pitt
We get
says
that
that
she has it
nobody believes me. Brad Pitt says that he struggles with a rare condition. It's called face blindness. The condition is prosopagnosia, and it makes it difficult to recognize people, even in his own family.
Okay.
That's just what I described with my sister, right?
Who are you? Who? Why is this kid here? Oh, it's your son.
So he doesn't.
Totally.
He doesn't forget people. He just doesn't recognize.
Who's this little person? Who are you?
You know
Daddy.
when someone's like, "Oh, I'm terrible with names, but I always remember a face." He's the opposite. So listen, right now I have up this clip of when I interviewed Brad Pitt, and I'm watching it, and I'm just watching it on silent. And now in my head, I realize he's looking at me and he's trying to remember my face, but he's going to forget it 10 minutes from now.
I think you might be Angelina Jolie.
No, I'm Danny DeVito. What the hell?
All right. Face blindness, or this prosopagnosia, is the inability to recognize faces. And Brad Pitt says that he's got it.
Come on. That's just an excuse because you forget people's names.
Just like the little mini giraffe. I got it.
I got it.
Yep.
All right.
Many people cannot recognize family members, partners, or friends. And Brad Pitt is 58 years old now.
Really? Holy cow.
He talked about this in a recent GQ interview. And he voiced fears that his condition, which is, he says, really undiagnosed, has made him seem as though he is aloof, inaccessible, and self-absorbed. Or maybe that's his cover. Maybe he really is, but now he's saying that he's got this ailment, so he doesn't look like a total bleep hole. I don't know.
If you're self-absorbed, you don't care.
He previously discussed his undiagnosed issue back in 2013, but did it not catch on? Did people not realize? I had no idea this was a thing. I did not know that there was a face blindness where you don't recognize people.
Yeah, it's like everyone's kind of new to you, basically.
You know what? Could we ask people to call up?
I just texted my sister and asked her to call.
You know what?
All right, folks, if anyone listening has this face blindness where you don't remember faces, I mean, is it even like friends and people you know? Like, do you show up at work and say, "Who are you?" to the guy in the cubicle next to you every day?
You have amnesia.
That's what it's
Stranger, intruder. Oh, it's my husband. You know, listen, if seriously, if anyone has this, I'd love to talk to you. 800-990-1047. 800-990-1047. If anyone has this whole face blindness thing that Brad Pitt apparently has.
How many drugs did this guy do?
Was he a big drug guy?
I don't know.
He's a weed guy, right? I mean, this sounds like something else.
No, that's Matthew McConaughey.
This sounds like something else. This sounds like he just is. He's a super celebrity. He doesn't remember people's names. This is his excuse.
All right, if anyone listening has face, I don't know if we're going to get calls. It's apparently
Nobody has
well,
this.
it's a very rare condition. 800-990-1047. Or maybe you know somebody. You have a friend, a relative, anyone that has this face blindness thing and they don't recognize you.
You go see your boss for a meeting. Wait a minute. Who are you? Where's my boss?
I don't know if we're going to get calls. We'll try 800-990-1047 if you want to add to this. But then the other Brad Pitt story, This was a couple of weeks ago, and I remember that I had it in my pile. We never got to it, but I went back and found it from June 23rd. So, I don't know, 2 weeks ago. Brad Pitt claimed that he spent a year searching for gold on his French estate.
Really?
That's what I would do.
Yes.
Good for him. That's life.
Listen to this. Brad Pitt was duped into searching for buried treasure in his own backyard.
Where does he live? Oak Island?
No, this was in France.
Oh.
Yeah, that Oak Island thing, man, that's been going on for how many years?
Oh, they're going to find something soon. Don't worry.
Last night, I stumbled across Oak Island. I saw an episode maybe 2 months ago, and they were like digging like hundreds of feet down into like
With
some
giant machines.
like a well or a mine or a cavern or something.
You know how much money those brothers have dumped into that project?
Oh my
Over
God.
$100 million.
That is ridiculous.
Well, their one brother's rich.
That is crazy.
Obviously.
Hey,
Super rich.
Hey, Andrew, get line 2 also. Line 2, I just put that on hold. Maybe we got some of the facial issues. Anyway, back to Brad Pitt. And he got duped into searching for gold. This is also apparently from this GQ interview that a man once convinced him that one of the previous owners of his French chateau stole millions of dollars worth of gold during the medieval times and buried it in the estate. So Brad Pitt says, I got obsessed. Like for a year, that was all I could think about. Just the excitement of it all.
It's like City Slickers.
Maybe it has something to do with where I grew up. He grew up in the Ozarks. There were always stories of hidden caches of gold.
Yeah, I
However,
like it.
after a year of searching, Brad Pitt found no treasure at his French chateau and discovered that the man who told him about it was seeking investments in some sort of radar company, like some ground radar deal or something.
Come on, Brad. You're such a rube.
Listen, if he would have found something, it would have been awesome.
How did he not? He's in France.
I don't know. So he's searching for gold for a year that doesn't exist. He can't recognize people. Let me grab phones on this. Look at this. I've asked for calls. Hey, David's in Clearwater. Hi, David. Welcome to the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
Thank you. I have this condition. I didn't know it really existed. I always called it facial amnesia because I don't remember people's faces. Family, not too bad, but so I'm a restaurant I work at a restaurant and I'm a waiter, and I wait on thousands of people. And everywhere I go, people remember me and they say, "Hey, you waited on me at the restaurant." I don't remember any of these faces, and I struggle at it.
Wow.
I've tried everything. I read books. I don't know what the hell to do.
All right, so wait a minute, David. With friends and family, you do recognize them, or is there sometimes difficulty with that?
And any friends that I haven't seen in more than about a year, I sometimes struggle at remembering them, unless they were my super best friend.
Gotcha.
Or I lived with them. Or
So, like customers or people that you've served maybe numerous times at this restaurant, maybe they feel like you're inattentive or they're taken aback, but you have a condition you can't remember.
They have no idea that I don't remember because I can play it up pretty well.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if that's your fault, man. You're dealing with thousands of people over the course of a year. You're not supposed to remember everybody.
Hey, David, do you mind mentioning what restaurant you work at?
Yeah, I'm at Carrabba's off Gulf to Bay.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
No,
All right.
so-
Hey, thank you.
You know, I struggle at it, and I really care. You know, I really want to remember these people, and I wait on a lot of the same people because they ask for me, and I don't know they've asked for me. You know, and then they get to my table, and they're like, "Hey,
Well-
you waited on us last time."
Well, guess what, David? You're in the same predicament as Brad Pitt apparently here.
Wow.
Good
Well,
company.
At least him and I have something in common.
Hey, remember me? I ordered the chicken Brian last week.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, I remember.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
I hear it every night. Every
chicken
night
who?
I hear that.
All right. That's what?
Well, just Chicken Brian, yeah.
Hey, thanks, David. Thanks for the call. All right, Stephanie's in Tampa. Hey, Stephanie, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
Hi.
Stephanie, turn your radio all the way down. It'll be confusing, okay?
Okay.
Trust us on that.
Yeah, turn it all the way down. All right, Stephanie, what's up?
The nicknames. When I forget people's names, I'm at work with my coworkers, and I just give them random nicknames. If I don't remember your name, you just get a random nickname.
Like Chief? Hal?
Oh, hold on. Are they random, like specific to that person, like Limp Along, or is it just like,
No.
hey buddy or pal?
I just give them a nickname that goes with their like personality.
Oh boy! So if they're overweight, do you call them like Chubster?
No, Tiny.
What would you give?
Something like that.
But I don't know if that. I don't know if that is a face thing. That
But you recognize them, right?
Yeah, I can recognize them, but I just forget names. and I
forget
have to
names. All right,
remember
so that's different. That's separate. But all right. Hey, Steph, thanks for listening. I appreciate you checking in.
She's mocking everybody in her workplace. What a terrible employee.
No, she's not. Anyway, hey, Steph, thanks. Yeah, Rox.
Yeah, my sister texted me. She's too busy right now. She's got Zoom calls, but she
Oh,
wanted
yeah,
to,
I'm sure she's too busy.
Right? So she said, you
I
can
don't even
tell
think.
them.
I don't even think you have a sister.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we've talked to her before, but okay. But she said you can tell them I've tried to sit at tables with the wrong family at buffet brunches. Remember when I did that at Oyster Catchers?
Really? She will sit at the wrong table thinking it's her family? Get out of here.
Who's this woman at our table?
Daddy, who's this woman with a husband with 9 toes?
One more. I thought we weren't going to get calls, and phones have lit up here. Jerry's in Clearwater. Hi, Jerry.
Hi there. Love your show.
Thanks. What happened?
I've experienced this a long time ago. I had a seizure disorder, and so I had to take medication. I wasn't sure whether it was the medication or the seizure disorder itself that caused this, but it was so embarrassing. My job was in public relations and community direction, and it was just absolutely... I'd have to, like, play it up like I'd know somebody, try to get them to talk more about themselves. Then it would kind of register after I'd done that. But eventually it stopped, and I was really grateful when it did.
I'm glad it did. So it was like a temporary deal, and then it disappeared. All right. Well, I'm glad it went away. Hey, Jerry, thanks for listening.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Bye. All right. When we get back, it is the final chunk of the MJ Morning Show. You know what? So Michelle texts me, I hate when you say chunk. Stop using chunk. And then...
Use chunk.
And then wait a sec. Then our I can't remember who it was. One of the folks in management here. Yeah, don't say segment. Yeah, you know, it just so when I say like, all right, coming up in the next segment, they're like, you know what? You probably don't say segment. Well, first of all, at this point in my career, really, you're gonna tell me what to say and not say.
Don't say show.
You either want me or you don't want me. So what the hell do I say? If Michelle doesn't want me to say next chunk, I came up with chunk because I was trying not to say coming up in the next segment.
Say chunk.
What?
Say fleck. The next MJ Morning Show, fleck.
How about the next time we talk, the next time you hear my voice and these other MJ Morning Show people?
When we're back.
You are not going to believe coming up.
In the next segment?
This troll.
Or the next chunk.
There is a troll story you got to hear, and it has to do with the TV show The Office. It has to do with Dunder Mifflin.
Okay.
Hang on. You've got to hear this story and a whole lot more in the final chunk segment next on the MJ Morning Show here on Q105. Stand by. Hey, Kemp Rouge and Green. Black Rose, MJ Morning Show, Q105. All right, we got to talk about The Office here and the whole Dunder Mifflin thing. And, hey, Fester, can you maybe hit a little Office music over there, please? Yeah, there you go. Look at that, yeah. What is this? Office. Listen to this. Fester brings up the Office theme song on YouTube. This is a 10-hour loop.
Now, I know you asked for a little Office music, but this should hold you over for a while.
Well, who would use this for 10 hours? What's the point?
Oh, my God. Hey, you know those stories of like a DJ going crazy and
I'm gonna lock myself in the
barricading
room.
themselves? Yeah, like an old radio stud. Hey, I'm going to lock myself in the studio and play the same song over
Fight for your right to party by the Beastie Boys usually, but today's going to be The Office.
Well, yeah.
I think I saw. Did I send you a story like that in the last couple of days?
I don't think so.
A couple of DJs.
Yeah.
They put like a Metallica song on as they got fired on a Friday and locked the studio.
That's not real.
Really?
You know what?
Really?
Yeah, there was a story. You did send me that.
They really
I'll
did
find it again.
That's it. We're locking ourselves in the studio. We're not moving.
All right, listen, that's one of the oldest radio stunts in the world. A DJ plays the same song over and over again.
Oh my gosh, the program director's knocking on the door.
Oh yeah,
You hear him?
Yeah, they can't get in the studio, or they can't pull the plug on the studio and put a different feed on. Yeah.
I barricaded the door.
Yeah. Anyway, this would be a great stunt. We lock ourselves in here, and we just play the Office theme over and over and over again for, 3 days straight.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
All right, there's a reason why I'm playing the Office theme. This is ridiculous. You've heard of, like, the copyright and the patent trollers. You know what this is about?
The people who their job is to buy out patents or...
They look for violations of.
No.
All right, here's the deal. The Office, the fictitious paper company, is Dunder Mifflin. There is a company that makes a business model out of trademarking existing like names or fictitious names. It's not even their product. It's not even their intellectual property. And they're trademarking it and then trying to go after the people that actually use or invented the name and then trying to sue them. Huh. Well, tables have been turned a little bit. Here's the story. Of course, everyone knows The Office. Everyone knows Dunder Mifflin. There is a company called J. Kinnett Media Group, and they are being sued themselves now by NBC Universal. It turns out that this J. Kinnett Media Group, they're these squatters. They're like patent and trademark trolls. So about 6 years ago, they trademarked the name Dunder Mifflin. Hold, you're telling me that was never trademarked, that the production company, that NBC, or they never had any kind of copyright or
How about the Dunder Mifflin merch?
Well, that's the point here.
All kinds of stuff.
So NBC is now suing this company, claiming they're trademark squatters and that they built their business based on registering the trademarks that really belong to others and then trying to sue them for using their own stuff.
Well, yeah, that's their business model.
Yeah.
It's a brilliant business model.
Dude, this is vermin low, dude. Come on. So this J. Kinnett Media Group, they're being accused of just being these trolly squatters. The lawsuit from NBC Universal says that this company, they buy trademarks that do not belong to them, or they register trademarks that don't belong to them, and then they try to sell it back to the rightful owners for extremely high prices.
They settle for something.
Yeah.
They make money for doing nothing.
Also, the NBC lawsuit against them, they say that they're engaging in customer confusion, that they're selling merchandise from TV shows, and they have no affiliation with the TV show. Dunder Mifflin was applied for by NBC Universal in 2020, 2 years ago.
Oh, okay.
Might be a little late. What The Office was on, like 2006? When did The Office? When was The Office run? I mean, how many seasons was the damn Office?
Oh,
like 9 or 10, right?
Yeah, Steve Carell. Then they brought in James Spader, right?
He was funny.
Yeah. But this is
9 seasons.
It was 9. So what year did it start, Andrew?
2005.
Oh, it's close. All right.
March of 2005.
So it was on for years, and this company just registers the Dunder Mifflin trademark 2 years ago. And then NBC, they're trying to trademark it now. It's like, why would you guys not trademark?
Maybe because it's going on the Peacock or something. They need the trademark.
I don't know.
Streaming.
Anyway, this is just a bizarre story. So this company, this J-Connect Media Group, they registered Dunder Mifflin so they could market hoodies, jackets, shirts, and other apparel.
That's right.
Linked to the office. And NBC said, no, this is our deal. You can't sell it. And then they said, this is trademark.
It's not.
The other company said, no, it's not. You don't have we have the trademark. Anyway, so they're suing these guys right now. We'll see how that thing develops in court.
Yeah, maybe we could reach out to Brian Baumgartner, who played Kevin on Cameo, and ask him to do a cameo about what he thinks about it.
Yeah, he's a multimillionaire.
All right, so you go shell out. How much does that guy
But I'm saying
charge?
he's one of the top producers. Is he the top producer on it?
I don't know. Hey, did you see this local story? A new Tampa Bay area story making the national rounds here. You know, morons in the news, late edition. The smoking gun. They must, I'm telling you, they get like every weird police report out of Pinellas County. It's for the smokinggun.com. Pinellas County is their new fishing hole.
Yeah.
For like the last year, they get all of these stories from right here in Pinellas County.
But the Smoking Gun only puts up like 3 or 4 stories a week. It's not like they're a great news source in the sense that they put out a lot of volume.
Listen to this. In a bid to recoup a $45 debt from a former girlfriend, a Florida woman allegedly copied images from her ex's OnlyFans page and threatened to send the nude photos to her grandmother and mother.
No.
If she didn't fork over the $45 that she owed her.
It's extortion.
Yeah, investigators say that Eliza Jean Lemite, Limite,
She was going to send pictures of Lemite to the grandmother.
Limite, I don't know. 24 years old, that she was in a romantic relationship with the victim and in the early stages of dating when she threatened to disseminate her nude photos if not paid this $45. And
$45
over $45. Can you imagine this? So Lemite, cops say, went to the victim's OnlyFans page, screenshotted a bunch of nude images, saved them to her camera roll, and then she texted one of the nude images to a third party, then sent this proof of dissemination to the victim. Look, hey, I just sent this nude photo of you to this text number.
That's pretty illegal.
And then in another text, this Lemite allegedly demanded the $45 you owe me or else she would send the nudes everywhere. Yes, I have them all. Maybe mom and grandma would want to see them.
Grandma would love to see it because that's what I looked like back in WWII.
That reminds me of my dad.
Anyway, this woman, Lemite, whatever it is.
All the boys coming back from Korea had a good time with that.
They arrested her on Sunday on felony extortion charges. And she was released from the Pinellas County Jail. She posted a $10,000 bond on the felony count. And apparently this Lemite graduated from the University of Tampa with a criminology degree, and now she's been hit with felony charges. And she works as a legal assistant at a Tampa law firm.
Huh. Okay.
You can never trust one of those.
Should I put out some guesses on legal assistants from law firms that get involved in shady legal stuff?
No.
Maybe would Malios be involved? I don't know.
Right next to UT, right? Yeah. Right next to University of Tampa.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, look, I love Malios. Anyway, so this person's a legal assistant at a Tampa law firm.
Boy.
It all goes back to Tampa.
Say that?
Everything ties back to Tampa.
I'm telling you. And she also operates an online business called Zen Candles and Crystals and Art.
Ooh, that's selling everything.
I'm in the market for some candles.
And crystals.
Sounds like she needs a little Zen going on. What do you think? Maybe whiff in some of that candle smoke or something.
Being a legal assistant, didn't she know everything she was doing was very illegal?
She must have missed that class.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I guess so.
She skipped.
All right. Man, I got a lot that I've got left over. So you know what that means? Tomorrow's Friday, right?
Yes.
I don't need to do any work tonight. No prep because I have everything here left over that's great for tomorrow's show.
That means we don't need to either.
No. I'm being facetious. Or as Froggy would say,
Facetious?
Facetious?
Confucius? I know it's for. I can't really say it.
Anyway,
Facetious.
the Friday show tomorrow is going to be fantastic as we round up the week. All right, guys, think of any last things we got to get to before we shut things down today. And before we do roll